Greetings, citizens! Today we embark on a most vital campaign against the very essence of chaos itself, an untamed Minecraft village. For too long, these rustic settlements have been devoid of proper defenses, strategic layout, or indeed, any discernible Roman order. It's frankly an embarrassment to the very concept of civilization. For the next 100 days, I shall undertake a monumental task: to transform this ramshackle collection of hovels into a bastion of imperial might, a truly defensible Roman fort. We shall impose order, erect formidable walls, and perhaps, just perhaps, teach these villagers the true meaning of discipline. Or at least how not to wander aimlessly into a zombie's embrace. Prepare yourselves, for the glory of Rome awaits. A swamp, well that's lovely. They could have picked a better spot to drop us off. Ah well, we're not going to stay long. We need to find this new group of recruits to start organizing them. And it's clear they're not here. Ooh, I think this is some rice. That's a good start. We may need that. Especially because we couldn't requisition anything, particularly armor or weapons. Which means we're going to have to produce all of that ourselves. We may as well stop here for some stone tools. Ooh, or even iron. We can't walk into our new fort and just have nothing on our back. There we go, much better. Thank you. That is not a bad beginning. Now where is this fort? I can only hope that the villagers we sent ahead of time got at least a bit of a start. By now they should at least have walls up, and I'm sure they've started making some weapons and armor too. Hopefully food as well. This run is taking it out of me. Ah, I see a structure. This must be the fort. What? Where are the walls? Anybody could just walk right in. There's not even a gate. Hey, you, who's in charge here? This guy looks like he knows what he's doing. Hey, Marcellus, is it? Don't you walk away from me. Where's the defenses? Where's the walls? At least he has a sword, but come on. Well, at least they started some food production. And the sun's going down. Hey, yeah, you, Antonius. Where's my evening meal? Who's preparing my evening meal? I'm starving. I had a long trip here. You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you? This is going to be harder than I thought. Okay, let's take inventory. We're going to have to go to bed soon, and then Livia, we're going to need to get started right away tomorrow. Ridiculous. Well, at least we got some bread. I should have expected this, but somehow I really was expecting better. But I guess that's why they send us, right? Okay, this is something. Let's say for the time being, this is our house. Maybe it wasn't for us originally, but we're requisitioning it. Time for an early night and a good start tomorrow. Okay, we've broken our fast with bread, and we better start getting organized. We gotta tell everybody what the plan is around here. Plebs, to the town square. Your imperator has orders. Okay, yeah, this is an unruly bunch. They're not even listening to me. Let's talk through it, citizen. We have 100 days to turn this village in shambles into a proper Roman fort. Fortunately, we have lots of tools at our disposal. You'll notice that even though some of the villagers have outfitted themselves, they're not ready to fight Rome's enemies. Not the most intimidating bunch. If you look over here though, fortunately, we have things like legionary armor, centurion armor, even praetorian armor, and that's all available to craft. As I said, unfortunately I didn't bring any with me, but we have things like chainmail, plate, coins, and it all begins with this plate and chainmail, so we're going to need things like leather, we'll need lots of iron, so that's one order of business. We need to automate leather and iron, if we're going to get any of these guys outfitted, that is. Also, an army marches on its stomach, so we might want to look into getting some food, and for that we have Farmer's Delight. We also have a way to compress our iron farm to a single block. So we'll want to work on getting some of these easy villager blocks as a way to help that production, but also we can use sophisticated storage, and that will be a way to collect all of the things in bulk that we're going to need to outfit this village. There's a couple other things that I'm sure we'll use as we go, but the question for now is, what is the first order of business? And I guess I don't want anybody going on walkabout, so maybe it's a good idea to establish a perimeter. Eventually, we're going to need a massive wall surrounding this whole thing, but we may as well just set what we want our space of the eventual fort to be. And for that, we'll need lots of wood. So that will be our first order of business. Probably makes sense to bring some food with us as well. There we go, much better. So let's fell a few of the trees in the neighboring forest, bring that back, and probably for the time being, we're just going to create some fences. We don't need a full-blown wall yet. That will establish our perimeter, and then we can begin work on the village itself. Still going to grab iron every time I see it too. Not too bad. Let's see what we can do for now with fences. So if this is our area, probably safe to just go to the end of each road, get a square, and make sure that's all blocked in. Also, thinking of the pathways, we have a really cool new mod installed about those that I'm not going to need yet, but don't forget to remind me later because it is really cool. So there's one wall. I'm thinking if we go across here and then connect up to the water, that should be pretty good. We'll just Maybe put some docks or something along the edge where it's not going to be completely straight, but that we can figure out later. Yep, better get inside, children. That's what I'm talking about. Those two just run off. That's two future soldiers of Rome that we'd be missing. You two, stay inside. You could have done this before I got here, by the way. This will eventually need to be cleaned up. But for now, we're just going right across the water. Okay, I think that's good for now. We have a perimeter set up all the way along here. This is open, but the water is sort of a natural defense, and eventually that'll change. But I feel safer. I hope you do too, Marcellus. Eventually I'll get to know the names of everybody around here, but for now, you just pretend you know until you get close. Titus. Keep up the good work, Titus. Look sharp, Appius. It makes them feel special. Anyway, on to next steps. Now that we've established a perimeter, food will become a problem. So for that reason, we should improve the farming situation around here because they have a couple, but we're not impressed with what we've seen. And the same goes for the animals. If we want to get everybody with legionnaire armor, we are going to need lots of leather, because we not only need that, but we need the leather string, which takes more leather. Oh wow, that's expensive, yeah, so we need to work on that. And it just so happens we have a large open area here that if we flatten it out a bit, we might be able to call everything between these existing houses maybe a farm and a barn. And by the way, not sure if this is foreshadowing yet, but we can probably plan on having none of these structures here by the time we're done. The villagers did okay, but let's be honest, we could do a better job than this. So that means some terraforming is in order. We'll flatten this out, we'll get a wheat field established, and then we'll make a barn for at least cows. I got to work shredding through stone shovels to clear out the area we'd need to establish our very own Villa Rustica. Somehow the game always knows when I'm planning a time-lapse, so it immediately began to rain. I was unfazed, however, and moved an impressive amount of dirt with my powerful Roman arms. Speaking of, we had a surprise creeper visit during the work, but I easily dispatched it with my unsurpassed bravery. With that done, we wrapped up with a nice flat area, ready for a build. That's not a bad bit of work. We're showing these villagers how it's done. Now we just need to plan out where we want farms and where a barn makes sense, and also, this first one is strictly for wheat. Not only can we use it as a food source for bread, but we're going to need a lot to be breeding all of these cows. So that's the main purpose of this. Eventually, we may use smaller ones for the Farmer's Delight stuff like these, but for now, this is strictly for wheat. We are going to need to move water in there. I've been cooking up a bunch of charcoal because I think we'll need torches, but also we may want to cook up with the iron because I want a bucket, and that's actually probably good for now. Let's do that, get the iron going. Then we'll grab our bucket, we'll be able to start irrigating the land out here. And I'm thinking at least 2 farms on either side and then a barn in the middle. That should do nicely. Also, I didn't notice there's another portal up there. We should go check it out. There we go, acquire hardware. We can make ourselves a bucket. Fortunately, there's water right over here. And I'm gonna go ahead and make an infinite source right here, just so we don't have to run quite as far. As for the farms, they will be pretty efficient, because obviously we're big into efficiency, but there will be space between them because I want to have pathways and roads kind of running through this whole thing, because then it should look pretty authentic as a Roman camp. So for example, if we mark these out, they're not touching because I want to put a border around each one of these, and then I also want space for a pathway between, and that looks like it'll be enough space, so that's good. So let's get these covered, a little bit of light for each one. Get a border in place because we don't want the plebs to be stomping all over this, let's be honest, they would. A few fence on top, and that should do rather nicely. Although the plebs can probably still get in that way. We'll see how they do. If they start messing with us, we add another gate. So let's do what we just did there on 4 different plots. And just like that, we've got what we need. Now we won't even be able to fill up one plot yet, but we can get a start. So we'll keep things moving here, but we also have time to make a barn and get some cows moved in. Maybe sheep. Probably not though, if we're being honest. Since we have a 3-wide pathway here, we'll probably do the same. 1, 2, 3, and then start here. We want everything looking nice and crisp and symmetrical. And it's not going to be really enclosed, it'll be more like open sides, just supports holding a roof up to cover for the weather. That's more what it's going to look like. So with that in mind, we'll stick to a very similar type of look as the little farm plots because I want things to look like they all belong or like they're very similar. We'll also have entrances on both of these sides in case you wanted to come through, but we'll also do one up here, because we might be approaching from that direction too. There we go, that should do it. Now we just need to cover it up. Fortunately, a nice and simple roof should do. There we go, and I'm just realizing that I forgot to install FreeCam, and I wish I did, because then I could pop back and make sure this looks good. Let's do that real quick. I'm gonna go install that, then we can take a look at this. Back in a moment. There we go. So now we can kind of get out of body here and just take a quick look to make sure it looks fine. And I do like the shape of that. We'll need to do something up here, but that'll work. That'll work for now. I think I might come back around later on when I have more materials and upgrade some of this, but for now, that will work fine. Let's fill in the rest. Ooh, look at that. They just got somebody. Good job, Marcellus. Good job, Appius. Proud Romans, those two. That'll teach zombies to try to breach our perimeter. There we go. Now if we hop into free cam again, that is looking very nice. Nice and orderly. We do need to put paths between here still, but on the inside I did a bit of decorating as well, so now we've got the hay around here, little barrels for storage if we need it, and of course a, what do you call this, a loft or something? But yeah, got this up here as well. Now we get to the really cool part I've been looking forward to. After we make these paths and sleep, of course. So nice and easy, we'll just connect these up to existing ones like that. There we go. Now, before we move the cows in, we have this, the feeding trough. And I'm in love with this ever since I ran into it in the Homestead mod pack. So we are absolutely using it, nice and easy to make. We just get some slabs, get ourselves a feeding trough, and then it doesn't really matter where we put it. So let's just say right in the middle here where it's easy to access. But right now it's doing nothing, obviously. And it won't really until we have wheat production increased. Speaking of, we can do some replanting. There's at least one full, and the beginnings of a second. But once we have more wheat, we can go to the feeding trough, right-click, and just put the wheat into the trough. And you probably guessed, but the point of this is once we get the cows in, they will automatically eat from the trough, which means I don't have to come in here and manually feed them so that they continue to breed. We just leave them with the trough, and they automatically multiply, which is going to be fantastic. Now, actually, we need one of those because we want to bring the cows over here. And I did see a couple over here. We're just going to, assume the villagers did their best, and oh boy. Yeah, let's get rid of this. You two girls can come with me. Yep, right this way, mademoiselle. I sound Frankish. And can you fit through here, or... Yeah, no, you're good. Perfect. So, you two are going to be our start. I'm going to leave you with the wheat that I have, and every time we get a chance, see how the cow just ate it on its own, but it seems like only one of them did. Are you going to have some? Yeah, there we go. And then, I didn't have to do a thing. We now have baby cow, or calf. So that is the beginning of our steak and leather empire began. Do I see a wandering trader back there? Hey, what are you doing in my fort? Do you have authorization, Aulus? Ooh, I wish I had emeralds. I kind of want this stuff. Sea pickle, mangrove, but I don't, Aulus, so I'm just going to see if you want to be picked up really quick so I can grab these. And you are my new friends. Come on over this way. No, you'll forget all about Aulus. Believe me, that's the low point in your life. You two stay here. We are going to be best friends. Don't look at me like that. There we go, see? Best friends forever. I knew it. This one is being difficult. There we go. Okay, perfect. New friends. What were we doing? Guess we can move all of this wheat over there as well. Refill the trough. And I think we were just wrapping that up so we can decide what our next project is. Now that we have wheat and leather production started, we need to think about what to do next. And the two big ones on my mind are establishing storage, but also iron production. And one thing I notice about storage, for one, we're going to need some redstone. But two, down the line, if we want a controller, which I do, we are going to need nether quartz, which means going to the nether. And you may have noticed, but we have no armor, and we're using stone tools. For that reason, I think we should start with iron. Now, as I mentioned, we can create an iron farm using easy villagers, and that's not too bad. That's glass pane, lava bucket, stone, and iron. Now, we will need to start a mine at some point, but it just struck me that there was a nether portal over here, which means there's probably lava. So let's start with that. Ooh, it's a big one. Look at that. And it does have the lava, so we'll take this, get the achievement that's about me, and then I also want this gold block. So let's make it as safe as we can. And actually, I can't even... No, I think I might need iron for that, so let's wait. I'll get it eventually. But let's see what you have. Curse of Vanishing. Very helpful. Thank you. Golden carrots are nice, though. Okay, so that's not too bad. I know earlier I picked up some sand, so we can use that to make glass. And then we might be on our way to doing this. Because to my mind, once we have the iron, we should be able to get ourselves some basic armor. And that will make it safer for the next few things we need to collect. Yep, there's our sand. So we'll cook that up. As well as one piece of cobblestone so we can get stone. The glass we will turn into glass pane. And with that, I believe, yep, we have everything that we need for an iron farm. So for now, we'll just get one of these, and we'll keep it down here. Eventually, this will all move to a central location, but in order to make it work, we do need to add a villager. And then if you right-click, you can get the output items that are here. Now, we do have carry-on, but I don't think that's how we need to pick up the villagers to do this. And if we can, we'll find one that doesn't have a job yet, and we don't want a guard because they're doing good work out there. We don't need 2 farmers over here. So like I said, I think I can pick you up like this, yeah, but this isn't what we want. We don't want to just pick them up like carry-on. And I looked at the key bindings, it said V, Remus. Yeah, Remus, you're out of luck. There we go. So if I press V, we can pick them up like an item, which is hilarious. And now that we have that, I believe we can just right-click you there, and there we go. We now have a villager in the iron farm, and it should begin working and outputting iron for us. The downside is that it's very easy, obviously, but it is quite slow. It takes a while for this to generate anything. So we'll confirm that it's working, and then we'll probably leave this to generate iron for us while we maybe go establish a mine, because we still will need redstone. So I'll give it a minute, and I'll let you know when it works. There we go. It's starting to work now. And I just looked it up. It's quite slow. So that's pretty good. We got 5 iron out of that one occurrence, but it only happens once every 4 minutes. So you can imagine that later on, we're going to have many, many of these. But I'm glad it's working. Now, assuming that will just continue to work, I think what I'll do is go through and make sure that we can fill up all of our farms with wheat, and just make sure it's all in the feeding trough so we can keep the cows breeding this whole time. But that won't take long, so after that, we might even look into establishing a mine. So, let's do it. These messy villagers can't even be bothered to pull up all the weeds around here. I've got to do everything. I don't think I mentioned yet either, but if you do use the Easy Villagers mod, the sound of the iron golems can get super annoying, so you might want to get a sound muffler mod as well. That's what I have right up here, so then you can choose sound selectively, like iron golem death and hurt, and just mute them, or muffle them. That way you don't have to hear it and it won't drive you insane. I think, however, that is enough, and we now have all of the fields planted. And this is staying full, so pretty soon, once all of them grow up, the production in here is going to increase exponentially, which means we should be ready for a mine. When I was breaking all of the grass, I was scouting a location, and I think the other side of the barn over here would be a good spot. It's already pretty open, and the way they have this path laid out, there's a spot right here that looks pretty good. So we can dig down here, and then I am going to build something up above it, almost like it looks like a cave entrance. Or maybe we could even do something like it was a tent covering it up. But either way, we'll start the mine first, then we'll worry about that. Then if we look at the map, that means we have this area here that we've upgraded. This will be the second one, and then we can move to the west and start actually tearing things down and making them look better. Either way, we'll want to get something set up here, and we'll be on the lookout for the usual types of things. But the big one we need to look out for is redstone. So why don't I get this established? I'll let you know if I run into any caves or anything like that. Hopefully the villagers behave themselves while we're up there, or down there I should say. And also hopefully we come back to lots and lots of iron. In fact, because we have that set up already, I'm wondering if it makes sense to switch to iron pickaxes at this point. Maybe I'll break these, then we'll switch to iron. Well, hello. Always good to see you. And there's the pickaxe. That didn't take long. Yeah, let's switch to iron. Isn't it iron pick? Yeah, that's a bit better. And it looks like we've got a cave on our hands here. No redstone in sight. I do see some iron. In fact, it may even be time to grab ourselves a shield. This could be getting dangerous with customers like that out there. Hopefully the iron farm is still working because I'm already on the second pickaxe. And if I'm going through them that quickly, yeah, we are going to need to keep up production there. We've got another cave that for the time being looks fairly safe. So maybe we run through and try to light it up. We also seem to be making back our iron that we've been spending, which is always a good thing. Yep, that's what we like to see. But I would also like to see redstone. Also, I am just about out of food, so I think we head back up, smelt the iron that we found, and then on our second trip, I'd have to imagine we'd find redstone. We'll give some of this to the cows, but we're going to have to use a bit for ourselves. Until we start culling the herd in there so we can have steak, we rely on bread. They're actually doing pretty good, which means it's all for me. There we go. Now real quick, we'll check the iron farm and smelt this up. Hey, that's not too bad, 32. Don't really need the poppies. See, this is why we need storage. I'm already out of room again. And another 29 iron that we found. Things are progressing as planned. Now with the stuff that we just picked up there, I'm just checking, is there a Roman shield or is that just the armor? I think it's just the armor. So we'll need to get a regular shield. Feeling better about that. And I'm also noticing I don't know how to craft a gladius. We can make this a pylum. Stick with iron sword. But also, there is a merchant and trader block. So I think we can buy stuff that we need too. Alright, we'll get into that. I think next time we come up, we're going to convert some of the iron into the things that we need along with leather to make the Legionnaire armor set. And I think from there, you just upgrade the Legionnaire stuff with more to make it a better set. I'd love to have whatever the best is by the end. Maybe the Consul. Consul is 7 and 10. Praetorian is 8, but no toughness. Yeah, so we'll get this figured out. Anywho, we continue the quest for redstone. Actually, I might be able to... I'll probably change this, but I really want to show the reason I was excited about pathways. I have a mod that makes signs very important for us and requires that we build these pathways anywhere that we'd like to go. And we'll do one right here as an example. So you'll see up here it says learn to teleport. Check your inventory. For now, I'm just going to put mine. I'm going to put that on the sign at the house here. Like I said, this will all change eventually. It also gave us a book, Via Romana. Fast travel system where players can link signs over paths. And for a path to be valid, you have to hit a certain threshold of infrastructure blocks. If your path has too many natural blocks, it will not be valid. And there's a couple other things here, but I just think this is really cool because it's not like waystones where you just put one place and one somewhere else and you teleport thousands of blocks. Using this, you have to put down a sign and then sneak and punch, and it says charting. You have to follow a path and it says underdeveloped. That we might need to figure out. Does that just mean it has to be a wider path, maybe? For example, yeah, because once I step onto this, it says charting. So what happens if we make this too wide? It says charting. Okay, so it just needs to be a wider path. Good thing we left space, because I want this path to go from my house, the temporary house, over to the mine, because then we should be able to instantly travel, which is so cool and very appropriate for us. There we go. Now we've walked all the way over, and you actually have to walk it. So that's why I said it's not too easy, because you have to walk the entire path in order for it to count. So now if I put this here and say temporary home, sneak punch, a strand type game. Not sure what that means. And from there, all we should have to do is punch this sign, and then look at that. Isn't that so cool? That's incredible. I love that. So we're going to be making really good use of that. By the time this entire fort is finished, these will be all over and we can just instantly go from one place to another without having to run the entire way. Oh, that's so cool. And very Roman. Oh, well this is just wonderful. That's exactly what I wanted to see directly below me. Oh, this is actually a good illustration why you never dig gravel while you're standing on top of it, because if I dig this one, the rest falls and I would have went right into the lava. So very good reminder. Are we going to be able to get down here? Yeah, this is looking quite dangerous. Ooh, but look what I see. In fact, that's a big lot. We're probably going to go straight through that. We might want to turn around. So we'll build out a little bit right here, make it somewhat safer. And how are we going to build down? That's the question. Because I want that redstone. Maybe we go this way, dig down, and then build a pathway back up. There we go. Are we safe for now? I'm surprised. I thought this place would be crawling. With a barbarian horde, that is. Alright, I need you to come with me. Yes. Keep hearing bats and it's freaking me out. There's a lot. Nice. In fact, that's like 48. I think that's enough to get started. Which means when we come back, should have upgraded gear and better storage for everything that we find. Okay, awesome. Let's head back up and get started on storage. And actually, we're going to grab some copper. I didn't think about that, but we do, or I think we can use copper for some of the storage. I think I'm right in thinking that. Ah, home sweet home. And sign sweet sign. Man, I love that. So let's get all of this copper cooking up. Grab the extra iron, and now we're over a stack. Love that. And if we look again at storage, there's a lot of different upgrades, which is good to know. I'll probably use this at some point, but what I want to start with is this one. Oak barrel. Normal barrel recipe with a redstone torch in the middle. That just makes it a sophisticated storage barrel rather than another one. I think it has the same capacity, but it has the ability to be upgraded. Now the other thing is a storage controller, which I'm not super familiar with sophisticated storage, but I believe what you're able to do with this, and it even says, allows to deposit and pipe items to and from a connected multi-block of storages. So I think you can make it a single storage entity, essentially. But that is where the nether quartz comes in. So we'll need to get that, but we can still get a start on this without the storage controller. I'm also hoping I can take things out of that and not just put them in. Like I said, I'm not too familiar. And by the way, the reason that I wanted the copper is because after you have that oak barrel, you can surround it with copper, and that will increase its capacity, if I'm remembering correctly. So if we get a few of those, we should be in good shape. So the first thing we want to do is make ourselves, let's say, 12 redstone torches. Then we should be able to create a few oak barrels that are the redstone kind. Maybe start with 6 of them. Then if we grab some of the copper, I believe it was just surround it with that, and we get oak copper barrel. I can also check what I was thinking on this. If I do oak barrel and oak copper, the oak barrel looks like this. The oak copper, yeah, it's much more. It goes from 3 to 5 rows. And we can keep going with iron, I think. However, if we do set it up with copper, I think what you can do is make yourself a copper to iron tier upgrade, which looks like this, and just apply it to an existing barrel and it'll still do the same thing. So we're good. Now what I don't want to do is create storage here, because I don't think that would be very smart. What I think would be smart is choosing a central hub, something like a command center that we could put at a central point, and I'm thinking probably where this fountain is. Maybe surround that fountain, and that way we could have storage, we could have iron production, we could have the commander's quarters, that's me, and we could have all the signs that lead elsewhere. Just a nice central point. So because of that, I think we're probably going to have to do a bit more terraforming, unless we want it to be multi-tier, like a higher point up here and then it descends and does a lower point here, but either way we'll have to do a bit of work. So I'll probably do that, a little bit of prep work, get our foundations put down, and then we'll at least do a first floor, but I'll probably make it so that we can continue adding to it and making it larger as we need more space. Alright, to work! Can you really call demolishing sorry excuses of villager houses work? Yes, I suppose I can. Just so I can expense this time when I send out requests for more gold from the Emperor. With those cleared and some more dirt shifted, I started thinking about what we wanted for our command post build. I decided that I wanted all the space, so I did clear all of this out, and I was starting to put some of these foundations down with the oak logs. And if we jump into free cam, I decided I didn't want this to be an oak like we did with the first build. The central command center, I prefer that to be a bit darker, so I'd like spruce instead. And we don't have spruce, so you guessed it, we have to go on a quick adventure. I'm almost tempted to try to use a sign and a path so we could teleport back, but that would just take too long because I don't know how far we're going to have to go. So we can only hope that the plebs as they are now can stay safe, without our counsel and our guidance, but they should be alright. So let's find spruce, and then we'll head back. And look what I spy over this rise. That really wasn't too bad. Looks like we have a snowy taiga. No, not tiger, taiga. And I guess we may as well collect a decent amount while we're here, maybe get our axe close to breaking. But I'm sure we'll need to harvest more once we get back as well. So I will take as many spruce as I can carry, thank you. And enough saplings to keep us going, back at the base of course. There we go, that's a pretty good start. About 2.5 stacks, 50 saplings. I am pleased with that. Back to the fort and hope that the plebs didn't burn everything down. I have returned, recruits. Ah, look at them, they're so happy to see me. They didn't even know what to do when I was gone. They just lose all sense of purpose. It's either that or they're just not chunk loaded anymore. Now where can I grow some of these? I don't want to like ruin the ground. I guess just right over here. I probably won't use much of this area. There we go. Let's leave a few here, because I'm sure I'm going to need more. And eventually that'll be plenty. I hope. Now we can get to work on this build. This was an important build considering it would be the central focal point of the fort. Fortunately, as I got started, I remembered that I had Chiseled installed, a mod that allows you to create multiple variations of common building blocks like logs, planks, and stones. Unfortunately, Replay Mod decided that it was not a huge fan of the Chiseled mod. From the looks of this, I was using a variety of leaves and red glass panes to build my command post. But I promise that's not the case. Here, just to prove it to you, this is what I was seeing outside of the time-lapse. Sensible blocks that work well together. But Replay Mod had other ideas, I guess. It decided that this needed to look like this. No matter, I always find these little glitches to be kind of fun, as long as they don't mess with my progress in the world. Anyway, with the second level added, I decided it was time to wrap up the cinematic. We now have the beginnings of a command center, and this chisel, by the way, is a lifesaver. Tons of these blocks that just have a single use, or, kind of a single use. Look at all the variants you can get, especially cobblestone. Like, rather than just cooking it into stone and making something nice looking, look at all the things you can do with cobblestone. It's crazy. And I only used a couple, but things are looking good here. It's obviously not done. I wanted to take a little break, because we need to think about where we're putting storage in here. There's not a lot of room downstairs. I thought these could be more single-use type of little barracksy type areas, maybe like a bed and one chest, but up here somewhere there's going to be enough room for storage, so we got to get that set up. Also, in case you're curious, I was just looking over here, and yes, the feeding trough has been working. Also, I'm noticing a lot of cows are falling down from the loft and getting damaged, but, nobody ever said you were smart. So that makes me wonder, should we take a little break and make ourselves some armor before we set up storage? Because I still have nothing. Maybe just 1 or 2 barrels. We can put 1 or 2 down upstairs, just so we have a place. Where's I'm getting all turned around now. My temporary house, over there. So we have a place to put all this spruce and the things that we'll need for armor. I actually intended to make it earlier and kinda got sidetracked. So can we make all of these into copper? Yes, we can. Actually, can you make them iron just by doing this? Yeah, why don't we just upgrade them again? Because if they're all iron, How much space do we have there? Yeah, that's nice. And we can just keep upgrading them. So, assuming we're going to build walls and a roof over the top of this eventually, where would we want storage? If we go into FreeCam, you'll see that there's 4 areas here that have a decent amount of space. And if I'm going to build those up and probably connect them up to the sort of standing pillars on each corner, that makes me think maybe each one of these could just be a separate storage area. And eventually we'll probably organize it, but I think for now, we'll find the central point and we'll go maybe right about here. That way it leaves space to put up walls behind it and that sort of thing. But for now, we will put a bunch of barrels down right here. Assume that we'll probably have a storage controller, is that what it was called? Attached somewhere, but I still don't really know what I'm doing with that. So for right now, we're going to put most of this in here. Keep the iron, because we're going to need that. And then, unfortunately for the cows, it's that time. I require leather. Because I believe the first one is the Legionnaire set, and much of that is chainmail, but that does make leather. And look at this, 3 leather for 1 string. It's very expensive. That means, what, 12 leather for 1 chainmail? And we need 6. Whoa, over a stack of leather for 1 chest plate. I didn't realize it was that much. Wow, okay. It's a good thing we got started. That's the whole barn for like 1 set of armor. We're gonna be at this for a while. Wow. Well, we're up for the task. Let's just make sure we're right about this. Unfortunately, it means going through here and collecting quite a bit. Oh man, I'm wondering, should we get looting first? Because this is very slow going. Oh man. Because with those, we can get the 3 leather into leather string. And that's the only recipe, right? Yeah, it is. So 1 leather string. And so, yeah, we need 4 plus the iron nuggets for chainmail. And in order to get this, we need 6. Oh my goodness. So expensive. Yeah, we can't mess around with that. That's too much. We need looting. Well, this wasn't the plan, but we were going to have to do it eventually. And actually, this is a good opportunity to point something else out. So we've got Livia here, one of the guards. And if I right-click on Livia, nothing happens. Eventually, Livia, you're going to need some Roman armor because you look, not like you're ready for the Legion. And Octavius, you're not even enlisted, I guess we could say, but that's not the point. So if you have a guard like this, you can right-click and access the inventory to change what they're holding, but not if they don't trust you. Right, Antonia? So in order to make them trust you, they actually gossip with other villagers. And if you've been trading and the villagers like you and all that sort of thing, you basically gain their trust. Which apparently we don't have yet, Antonia, even though I'm building all this nice stuff for you. So we'd have to do that anyway, just so we can get into their inventory and change their armor. So because of that, it means... oh, Severus. Cool names. So because of that, we were going to have to do trading. We need to set up at least a little limited area. Maybe that's what we can use one of these for. Just set up a little tiny place where a few villagers are. That way Marcellus might begin to trust us enough to change his inventory. Yeah, okay, so let's grab a few Fletchers and at least 1 librarian. We'll get looting. In the future, we'll have a lot more, but yeah, I'm not messing around with that. We need so much leather. And actually, one other thing we should get, well, technically 2, a breeder and an incubator. That way we don't have to make a separate villager breeder. We can just make one of these. That will create new villagers for us, and then an incubator will essentially make them grow up. Little baby rat villagers into full-grown adults, ready to work. So let's get each of those. There we go, nice and easy for the villager breeder, so we'll get one of those. And same thing, nice and easy for an incubator. Now we'll just choose this one nearest to our temporary house, and we can even get a little bit fancy here. This isn't fancy, so I don't know why I'm calling it that, but I intended these as windows. We can use the easy villager things as windows, which might be kind of fun. So, I don't remember exactly how to do this. I think what you have to do is put 2 villagers in here and then fill it with food, and then baby villagers will pop out here, and then we just move them into the input side of the incubator, and then the adults come out. So, I need some volunteers. Oh, look. Hello, Antonius. Thank you for volunteering. Oh, wait, no. We don't want to do that. We want to do this. There we go. Now I've got Antonius. You go in there. Actually, do these kind work? Because that's too good to pass up. We've got Antonius and Antonia. So can I... oh, I can't. I can't pick you up for easy villagers. Yeah, has to be the non-guard type villager. You will have to do. Okay, now we need some food. And earlier I was thinking about this and I switched out one of these farm plots because we didn't need that much wheat anymore. So I turned it into carrots and potatoes, thinking that would come in handy eventually, which it will. Okay, so now we fill this with the food items, and pretty soon we should start seeing extra villagers down here that we can move to this side. And then the last question is, do we want to use these easy villager traders, or do we just do it the normal way? Because I don't actually know the difference. It might just make it a more confined area, but actually, come to think of it, we probably shouldn't do this. Because one of the points of this is to gain the villagers' trust, and if we're keeping them in a little tiny glass box, they might not. But also, I'm not sure if they'll be able to talk to the guards and gossip and tell them how fantastic and great we are. So for that purpose, we're just going to do normal trading. Oop, I just heard a noise. Hey, baby villager. So let's move that over here. And there you go. Now you're going to grow up. And yes, we could automate this and just connect them with a hopper, but that's easy enough to do. Moving them manually, I mean. So let's go over to this one, and we'll set up a few spots for Fletchers and Librarians. And I'm assuming that I found the things that I need for Fletchers and Librarians. Actually, I'm going to need a bit more leather for books, aren't I? I may not have any flint, but that shouldn't be too difficult to get. Yeah, it turns out I wasn't very prepared for this. I hadn't specifically been growing sugarcane, but some is already over here by... Oh yeah, by the way, I had been putting a lot of rice down, just because I thought we might need it later, if you're curious why all that's there. So we'll plant those for books, but also I didn't look. Was there a library-type villager house around that already has books and bookshelves and all that sort of stuff? Because if so, that kinda belongs to me. Not kinda, it does. It does belong to me. It's not really looking like it. Nah, oh well. Tell you what I'll do, citizen. I will work on creating... Wow, that works quickly. Creating a few more of these, so we'll just keep doing that. Once they are done, I will move them over to this side into these, so we can get maybe 3 Fletchers and 1 Librarian to start off with. Once the sugarcane grows, I'll make some books and a bookshelf and a lectern and all that sort of thing that you've probably seen many times over. And I guess the only other thing is head down to the mine and find some gravel for some flint. Actually, we might also have the time to make this look a little bit better. I intended to, it never did. Yeah, let's just find gravel for now. Is it still safe down here? Because I do see that you have gravel. And I would very much like some of that, please, without falling into lava. Thank you. There we go. That should be plenty. And I can tell it's getting a little bit busy down here. So before they notice us, we should just head out. I think I'd like 6 total. Come on, any day now. There we go. Make a few fletching tables. Get those right here. That should be enough, I believe. Yep, we can get 4 books. Use some for a bookshelf. And get a lectern. There we go. Now we just wait for our friends over here, and we do have 1 already. I don't remember if I could just place this normally, like an item. Can I just put you in there? Yeah, there we go. Neas. Welcome to working life, Neas. So you know the drill. I'm gonna fill all those spots, get some trades going. We should be able to get what we need pretty quickly, I hope. And then with looting, we'll start collecting our leather, and finally get some armor and feel a little bit more protected. I'll let you know once we've made progress. Wow, that didn't take long at all, and this is actually perfect. Looting 3, which is what we were looking for, and I've got the emeralds for it, so we're going to buy that, but also, he has bookshelves. Manius. So that means we can get more librarians when the time comes, but things are rolling pretty well over here. You'll notice we got an upgrade here. That's because I decided to make a toolsmith, and we already have that up to master level. Helpful because we could trade iron ingots, which we're getting from the iron farm. But not only did we get an Unbreaking 1 diamond axe, but now we have the diamond pickaxe, and this one actually has silk touch. That's pretty uncommon. I don't usually find that as a master trade for toolsmith, but we'll grab it because that's pretty good. So now we have diamond, silk touch, diamond, unbreaking pickaxe, or axe I should say, and then an efficiency 2 iron pickaxe, so not bad. Plus the looting 3, which I think I'm actually going to put on the axe. I'm hoping to get a gladius at some point, which means we wouldn't need a normal sword. I do still need an anvil, and I used all my iron for trades. I think I have some in storage, though. I don't know if it's this storage, or did I put it in the other one? Nope, here it is. So we can get 3 blocks of iron, do that for an anvil. And by the way, I've been checking. They're walking around, but I still can't get in their inventory, so I must not have built up a good enough reputation yet. Soon. For the time being, let's just put this just outside the door. Then, if we do diamond axe, looting 3... Oh, I can't actually do that. It needs to be on a sword, apparently. I did not know that. I thought I could put it on an axe. Okay. Well, in that case, I mean, it's pretty cheap. 16 emeralds, that's not bad. I could always get another one for a different sword. So for now, just because I want lots of leather, we can get an iron sword. Slap looting on that, and we've got a looting 3 iron sword. And that should hopefully give us better drops. I did refill the feeding trough one more time, so once again, it's pretty busy in here, which means I should just be able to stand here. Oh, I can't even one-shot him? Oh, no, I can. Or unless that was the same one? No. Okay, so you can see we're getting much better drops now. So I will thin the herd, we'll see what we're left with, and hopefully we can finally make some armor. Alright, that's over a stack and a half. And I think we've got our food problem solved. Actually, we should make something better with Farmer's Delight. I kind of forgot about that. We'll get to it. Lots to do. But for now, if we take a look again at the Legionnaire gear, we need lots of plate, and we need chainmail, regular old leather, some red wool, leather string. Okay, let's start with the easiest, the Legionnaire bootlace. 2 leather string and an iron nugget. We'll get a bunch of those. Our second leather string, put those together like this, and there we go, Legionnaire bootlace. I don't know if you can actually tell if you're wearing this, so if I put this here and then right-click, yeah, I can't really see anything. It counts as armor, but it looks like it doesn't show up anywhere, unless I'm just missing it. No, I don't see anything. No matter. Legionnaire leggings, we need red wool, which luckily we have lots of these. Turn that into red dye. I have some wool in here. Turn that into red wool. Then we need 3 chainmail. This is where it gets expensive. So we need 12 leather string, and that's going to take the bulk of our leather right there, I think. Then we can hopefully, let's see. Yeah, get the 3 chainmail that we need. That's going to be the most expensive thing, I think, chainmail. But we can do it. We can use that to get Legionnaire leggings. Then if we check these out... Oh, that actually... Leggings, it says that, but look at that. It did over my chest, too. Okay, more protection. Good. Probably the most expensive, the chest plate. We need 2 plate, which is just iron. So easy enough, we do that. Then I'm not even going to be able to math this, but I think 24 of these leather string. And I can't afford it, so we need more cows. Well, we all knew this day would come, cows. For Rome. Hopefully that's enough. Did I say 24? Is that right? Because I need 6 chainmail. Yep, there we go, 6 chainmail. Put them together and you get Legionnaire chestplate. Kind of looks like I've already got a chestplate on, but if I do this... Ah, okay, that bulks it out. Looking good, nice. All right, last one. Helmet, which good, is just plate, none of the chainmail. There we go, Legionnaire helmet. And finally with that... Ooh, yeah. Now we're looking like the commander of an army camp. Love it. Also, out of curiosity, Legionnaire helmet is 2 armor, 0.6 armor toughness. The iron is just 2 armor. It looks like it has the same type of armor as iron, except it has a little bit of armor toughness, so it's just a little bit better. And I'm assuming that just continues to go up as you improve to new things. So I think Legionnaire and the next is Optio. Is that right? Yeah, it looks like you just surround it with new stuff to continue getting up to the next bit of gear. Okay. So we can keep this going. Not right now, but eventually we're going to keep upgrading. And then we need a lot more to give it to all of our soldiers. So much to do. Actually, now that we have the armor, I'm very, very curious. It says Gladius here, and I really want one of those, but there's no crafting recipe. So I'm wondering, do we need to get either merchant or trader block? Then maybe we can buy them? I think it's worth trying it out. And this one's cheaper, so let's try merchant block. There we go, get a merchant block, and I guess we'll just put that here. And we need a new villager. Are there any ready? Yes. Okay, so you go in there. Ooh, look at you, Valerius. Looking good. Okay. I can't trade with you. That must not be it. I don't know what you do. Okay, I'm guessing trader is the one then. More expensive. We can do it though. There we go, trader block. Get rid of this one. Nope, no. Get back in there. Valerius. Now we gotta take this one away. This guy. There we go. You're looking pretty cool too. Except for, what is going on there with your face? Something's up. Alright, we're gonna ignore that, but there we go. We can trade with you. Oh, interesting. You have to trade gold ingots for coins, and then use coins to trade for other things. Do I have gold? Alright, let me go check Valerius. Hold on. That makes things a bit more difficult. I don't think I have gold. I do remember there was some at the nether portal. I've got 3 nuggets. We never picked up that one that was at the nether portal. Maybe we'll run and grab that just to test this, because I'm curious how it works. And then we could always go mining if we need more. And let's just make sure we're being safe with this, because I really don't want to lose that block. Please don't let there be lava underneath here. Thank you. All right, let's try to trade this to our friend Valerius. Okay, let's get some ingots. I would like some coins, please. Oh, good. It looks like that levels up quickly, so let's just do that. And then what have you got for me? What is going on with your head, man? That is very weird. Okay, there we go. Oh, good. Copper into coins. That is that's fantastic. So apparently we could have just bought all the armor, but it was good to make it anyway. Let's get some copper and trade more with him. You better have a gladius for me. I guess I used it all. I've only got the 56 here. Okay, I'm gonna swap that out. And for the coins, we can use those for a bag of coin, and then also it looks like when we get to Centurion, we're gonna need coins to upgrade it anyway. So a good thing to have. Actually, I'm gonna take a couple minutes anyway. I'm gonna go down in the mine and see if we left any copper that was still exposed down there, since this has to cook up anyway. And, ooh, we haven't done this in a while. Boop. Go over to the mine. We need to set up more of those, but I was kind of waiting till we had the command post all, you know, kind of ready to go, and then that would be where all the signs are that lead us everywhere else. Anyway, I'll grab some of this stuff, let you know when we're done, then we'll do some more trades. Wow. 3 creepers. Okay, hold on. See, this is why we need better gear. All right, that was a couple of them at least. There we go. All right, hopefully we can mine in peace now. Oh, this opens up to the outside. I didn't know that. Anyway, that is plenty of copper, so we can already be done. Yeah, hey buddy. That can't be the first time I blocked something. Really? Get out of here. So where does this open up? Big old cave entrance, and we are just outside the walls. Okay. And yeah, I use the term walls loosely. We still need to upgrade those. All right, we've got a bit. Let's see what we can do here. Oh man, that first level, you were going up half a level in one trade. Now it's that? Oh well, we've got plenty of iron, and this will give us tons of coins. Okay, upgrade emerald to coins. That's easy. Iron to a bag of coins. Huh. Well, we've got the emeralds. I don't really want to use the iron. Let's just keep leveling you up. There we go. Come on, guy. Gotta give me a gladius. One more level to go. But look at all that. Especially the chest plate. I think we are going to get a bunch of these for... Well, maybe. We'll see. I was thinking we could trade for some of these when we start outfitting the villagers. I have too many coins. It's a good problem to have. There we go. Last one. Don't let me down, Valerius. Yes! Mains Gladius and Gladius. 5 and 4, 5.5 and 4. So, I mean, why wouldn't we just get this one? It's pretty cheap, too. Or, you know, not too bad. There we go. Beautiful. How does it compare? Iron Sword is 6 and 1.6. Gladius is 5.5 and 4. So a little bit less damage, but it's much faster. I'll take it. Look at that. Fully outfitted. We are looking good. Whatcha, whatcha. So intimidating. Well, now that we've solved that little mystery, we do need to continue building this and complete it, but we also have 2 empty rooms over here. And I did mention using Farmer's Delight. So maybe we should make a kitchen, because if we got a cooking pot, we could make beef stew, and that looks really good. So let's look into some of this gear. I think we'll need a stove and a cooking pot. We might as well give that a try. So we'll need to turn some of the clay that we have into bricks. And actually, I'll need a couple more for this too. There we go. Now we can get our 4 bricks. That should give us a stove. Then I think I just need a bit more iron and water bucket, wooden shovel. Yeah, no problem. As long as the iron farm has been working. Yep, we are good. So cooking pot. And if we go to our empty room over here, I think we can have our stove right there. I brought some additional decorations just to make it look like something in here. The mess hall. There we go. Then we put the cooking pot on there. Dinner's served. And if we want beef stew, we just need the beef, carrots, and potatoes. I have the beef. Our carrots and potatoes should be regrown by now. Yep, looks like for the most part they are. There we are. We'll also need lots of bowls. So we'll get a stack of that. Then I believe all it takes is you put the ingredients in the cooking pot. So raw beef, potato, carrot. It'll show that it's starting to move across, meaning it's cooking. The result will be shown over here, beef stew, but it needs to be served on a bowl, so I have to put the bowls down here, and there we go. We get our beef stew in a bowl. I still don't know what comfort does. I probably should, but easier to ask you, citizen. What does comfort do? Is that pretty good? Because the saturation it gives you alone, look at that. That's just really good, but I assume comfort is something too. So we'll leave that to cook. That's probably going to be our main food source now. And maybe at some point you can even earn some Appius. Not with that attitude though, walking away from me like that. I think when our food is done, we can't put off storage anymore. So we'll probably move on to that. And the reason I was waiting was to get one of these storage controllers, which requires nether quartz. So now that we have all of the armor, I at least feel better about going to the nether. And I'll feel especially better if we have some tasty beef stew to bring with us. Oh, can I only do 16 at a time? Yeah, it looks like that. So if we take these out, yeah, okay. Even so, it's worth it. So much so that the stake is going on standby. Look at that. So much better. Now, as far as the nether, I don't really want a portal into an evil dimension inside our fortifications. That seems like a bad idea. Seems like a better idea to just repair the portal that's over here, and we could just run in and out whenever we need to. The only thing I might want to get before we do this, I'll repair the portal. That's easy enough. And we should have what we need right down here, so I'll just do that. But before we head in, I do think I'm going to probably level up the Fletchers a little bit more, just so we can get a bow, because I have no bows, no arrows. That's usually something I like to take into the nether with me. So let's repair this, then we'll get a bow, some arrows, and we'll head in. Gotta put these in so it won't work, make me take it. So uncool. But I did get the advancement, so that's something. Then I believe we just do right across here. That should do the trick. I didn't bring a flint and steel. Doesn't matter, we need to head back anyway. But it's ready to go when we come back. Just so I don't forget, we will carry this on us. And then we go to visit the villagers. Or, you know, the plebeian tradesmen that we allow to stay in camp. Ooh, we could try our first beef stew too. Oh yeah, comforting. That is so good. Full saturation. Oh, by the way, can we get a third one of these now? Oh wow, those are all done. Keep it going. Put you right there. Another Severus. And we'll get some more trades going, because they should be close to offering an enchanted bow of some kind. Ah, there we go. Unbreaking 2 for that one, and you, we've got Power 2. I could combine those, that wouldn't be a bad bow. What do you think, Naeus? I'll take your Unbreaking 2, and Antonia will take your Power 2. Then we can put them together into a decent bow. I feel more prepared already. And why don't we get maybe 2 stacks of arrows? I never miss, so that shouldn't be a problem, but you know, better safe than sorry. Yeah, see, look, Antonia's in here talking with them, and yet I still can't access your inventory. They're happy as can be. Look at them. They didn't tell you how great I am? We'll get them eventually. Okay, let's head to the nether. It really shouldn't be bad anyway, because all we have to do is grab, I think it was only 2 nether quartz, but we'll get a bunch just so we're prepared. Okay, make sure I did this right. Beautiful. Everything's looking good here. We're ready to go. Into the nether for the glory of Rome. Alright, and I can already see that what we need is all over the place, so we aren't going to have to go far. Thank you. I mean, that's probably all we need, but we just got here. We may as well have a little look around. Grab a few more where we can. And looking at the map, I don't know if we'll need it, but the area where we just spawned in here, look at what's pretty close by. We've got another fortress over here, so if we do need anything from there, like blaze rods, it's not too far, which is always nice. Not gonna bother with that yet. I think that's really all I want, but I will take some glowstone. Ooh, in fact, silk touch, that's gonna come in handy. Pick up all of this. I'm sure we could use it for decoration somewhere. And with these last things, we are ready to go back. That's my kind of nether trip, nice and easy. Now, we see if we can figure out storage. Also, I didn't look, there's these other things that we might need. Storage output, storage input. These might come in handy, and then storage IO, I assume it's just a combination of the 2 things. Storage link? I don't know. Let's start with the storage controller. So the 2 comparators we need stone for, which I just happen to be cooking up. So we will get 2 of those. And I have everything else. Andesite, comparators, oak chest, oak planks. That gives us a storage controller. Now, something tells me it's not going to be as easy as just slapping this down by the barrels and everybody's happy. But one can hope. So we might move this, but if I were to just put it there, nothing. Deposit and pipe items to and from connected multi-block of storages. One thing I was thinking might be, well, I guess let's test this. If I take the andesite and do that, nothing. So, I think the case is probably that we need this, a storage tool, because it links, locks, hides, counts, tiers, locks on storages, blah, blah, blah. I think we need to link all of this storage together. I could be wrong about that, but that's not terrible. We do need to head back to the nether to get an ender pearl, because this seems like it'll come in handy, so we may as well grab one. It's never simple, is it? Alright, let's go enderman hunting. And it looks like if we can head directly west, we'll find a warped forest, which is what we need. Aw man, I didn't bring that looting sword with me, I should have. That would have come in handy. Okay, it looks like we might be able to run across from here, and hopefully I'll be able to see these torches so I know how we got up here. Alright, this is not a safe area, but we are decked out in Roman gear, so how bad could it be? Uh-oh, we got a customer. I do want to try out this gladius. Ooh, that is pretty quick, look at that. Wow, that's nice. Okay. I see you are just basically asking to be put in a boat, so I will oblige. And then how would you like to drop a pearl for me? Does that seem like it might be a fun thing to do? Hey, it was a fun thing to do. I don't know if we'll need more, but we're here, so we might want to try to grab 1 or 2 more of these. Hey, friend. Got 1 more from him. Let's see if we can get just 1 more. I see or hear 1 around here, but I also hear a ghast, and that's not great. Hey, buddy, you want to jump in here so I can finish my trip? Thank you. And we'll just do this for a bit. Oh, you didn't drop 1. Maybe you? There we go. All right, 3 should be plenty. Now, how do I get home? You were paying attention, right, citizen? You were going to show me how to get back? There it is. Yeah, I'm sure you could have told me to. Back we go without incident. Just the way we like it. And can he make the jump up? Ah, he can. Okay, now need the redstone torch. Those things. Storage tool. Unlinking from controller. No, I don't want that. Sneak scroll to change mode. Sneak scroll. Showing hiding fill levels. Showing hiding upgrades. Showing hiding tiers. Locks. Locking, unlocking, unlinking from controller. There's no link. Linking to controller. Okay, so I had to right click that. So if I click you, to you, linking to controller at blah blah blah. What does it mean? I think I might have to look up a tutorial. I don't know what I'm doing. Not surprising, I know. I've been doing some testing and I think I have a solution. And as soon as I start talking, it starts raining. Well, we're doing this in the rain then, citizen. Makes me think we should get a roof over our heads soon. Anyway, for whatever reason, this wouldn't link when it was on top, but when I put it down here, I could link it, so that's actually working now. The issue with putting things in is apparently it already has to exist, and I'll show you what I mean. So spruce logs, they're already in here. I'll take some of those out, but there's no bowls in storage currently. If I try to put the bowls in, nothing happens because it doesn't exist in storage currently. Spruce is currently in storage, so when I right-click with that, they do go in and get deposited in an available slot. So a bit of a weird little quirky thing with this. At the same time, I found that this doesn't have a direct storage interface. It's just a controller. If you wanted to, I could put a hopper on the side of this and put items in that way. But I can't really take them out using this unless I had like an output and I'd have to filter it, all this weird sort of stuff. But I found a better solution. I like sophisticated storage because of all of the upgrades you can do to chests and barrels, so we are going to keep that for the actual storage containers. But I've also installed Tom's Simple Storage mod because that does have a terminal, and we're looking for this one, Storage Terminal. We recently used it in the Homestead 100 days, and it works really well. So we can actually combine both of the mods to make a really good storage solution. And we might be able to make this right away. Luckily, we did pick up that glowstone. I wasn't even thinking about it, but that will help us out here. And we just need a couple extra comparators. Just need to grab some glass, and then we should have what we need. There we go. Storage terminal from Tom's Simple Storage. We get one of these. And fortunately, they work well together because the storage terminal, whatever you place it on, so for example, if I place it on the storage controller from Sophisticated Storage, it will link to whatever existing inventory is there. And because I've linked this to all of the existing inventory back here, when I open the terminal itself, it's going to access all of the barrels behind the controller. So now, not only can I access everything in those barrels from here, but if I start depositing things like this, it's going to put it directly into storage, and I can just decide, you know, I want all of these things in. Then if I go and look, I'll see that they've been put into this oak iron barrel, and I can access them from one point. So that's exactly what I was looking for. It took 2 mods, but we got there. I do think there's a way that if we want to have these on all 4 corners, we can link it all to a single point, but we don't need to yet, and I'm going to sleep off the rain anyway, so in the morning we can think about what we want to do with this area. There we go, much better. And in case you're curious, I imagine if you made multiple storage controllers and then linked those with storage links, we'd be able to bring it back to a single point. But once again, I'm not sure if we'll actually need that because this is a lot of storage. So much so, in fact, I think I'm going to move what we have at the temporary house over here. Then we'll see about how full everything is. And in fact, I wonder, showing hiding fill levels, can I don't know. I assume there are other things we can do with that. But for now, yeah, let's just move everything over here. And it'll take a couple trips, so I'll let you know once I've got everything from the chests over here moved into our new upgraded storage. Oh, check this out. This is going to make it so much easier. I just charted a path from the storage to the temp house, so all we have to do is go click on the sign to go back and forth. Also, kind of a neat thing I discovered when I was doing that. I thought it had to be paths, but it actually doesn't, because if you look when I go to storage, we're nowhere near a path. I just had to put it here, and it actually charts it when I'm on all of this because it's quote-unquote an infrastructure block. So it doesn't actually have to be a path. It just has to be not nature, I think, if that makes sense. So that is really cool. And I say we just fully move out of here. No reason to come back, really. I'll just need to move these signs somewhere else, but for now, I think we're ready to move in fully to the command center. And if we take a look, we I mean, we're getting there, but we're not even halfway full yet. I will need to add more, but that is much more compressed than it used to be. All right, now that we've got that, I think we can start taking some of this stuff out. And I think what I'll do is just put up some walls around here, just to enclose it. Probably still won't be done at that point, but at least we'll have more going on. See you in a few, citizen. It's starting to look more like a fortification now. We're basically just building up some of the empty walls that I had left, putting a bit more of, design on the very top of things, getting this area enclosed. Overall, though, if we take a step back, that's looking pretty imposing. I really like how that turned out. I do think it's an awful lot of wood, which, that makes sense for an army encampment, but probably up here we should look for something to do with stone. And I don't think I have much. Less than a stack and not a lot of cobblestone. A little bit here, but, could be more. So I think what we'll do is take our Silk Touch pickaxe down to the mine, grab ourselves a bunch of stone, and then just add a little bit more as far as accents go, mainly along this top wall. And then we have to decide if we want any covering from this or if it should be open. Honestly, it feels more natural to me to have it open because I like the camp feel rather than like a permanent establishment over here. Ooh, we could actually teleport there. So we can go, nope, not that. We can go temp house and then to the mine. Oh, I love that. And man, I'm going to say it every time I'm here. I want to put something over this, like a covering. I just never feel like doing it when I'm here. Doesn't matter where we start. Let's head in here and we can just get stone directly, which is beautiful. So we'll grab a couple stacks, then we'll head back and see what else might be required to finish up what we're working on now. That should probably do for now. Just to be sure. Okay, yeah, it still works. The chisel can do stone as well. Okay, good. Out of curiosity, if I got some stairs and a bit of wall, I couldn't chisel those, could I? No, that would have been nice. Well, in that case, ooh, can do like lighter colored stone. That's really cool. And mossy stuff? Wow, that is a lot to choose from. Maybe we go mossy, like it's been here for a while. Why not? Because I was just gonna do this, skip one every time, and hope it works out by the time we get to the other end. Yeah, it will, okay. And there we go, there's our command post. Looking very good, and there's lots of area up here too to expand if we either want to make more storage or just put other things in. Speaking of, probably makes sense to grab some of this and kind of frame the storage a little bit. We'll say we're gonna add more, and it'll come out to this side. Same thing over here, that way. When we fill with all that storage, it'll look more framed in. We have a place to add our lights. Much better. Now that I'm looking at that pretty much complete, or, at least for the structure, it's making me think with the time we have left, I'm wondering, should I start clearing away some of this other stuff? Because we need to fill a lot of area, and we have time, but I'd kind of prefer more of a blank slate, like getting rid of this type of stuff. And then thinking about how to fill the rest of it. I wonder if it would force these guys to come in closer too if I started getting rid of this, because they kind of hang around the structures, and if they weren't here, maybe I could convince them to come to the command post. Well, it's gonna have to happen eventually. Might as well start breaking some of these down, like it never existed. There were 4 or 5 villager houses left, as well as one of the original farms. And after talking it through with the villagers, they agreed that the houses were a waste of space, and they were ashamed that they littered my land with them, and they were very sorry indeed, Imperator. So, being the benevolent overlord that I am, I agreed to demolish the last few structures, and flatten out some of the reclaimed land so that we could start to build something worthwhile. And yes, the villagers continued to thank me for my benevolence throughout. I don't know what they would do without me. A bit of elbow grease later, and we've cleared out most of the feeble attempts of the villagers to create structures, which means the area is now open for us. I did leave the temporary house. I thought it served us well, we may as well leave it. And clearly I need to empty out my inventory. There we go. And as it happens, I have an idea. Oh man, there's still so much dirt around here. But I have an idea of what we can use this area for. Because we are starting to get structures around here, but you'll notice our recruits in the Legion are still a little bit unruly. They don't follow our commands. They won't allow us to modify their gear. I haven't checked in a bit, but yeah, Camilla, Antonia, Appius, yeah, I can't get into anybody's. So I'm starting to wonder if it is anything to do with like gossiping with the villagers and increasing reputation that way, or if I actually need to, as far as I'm aware, there's 2 ways. I can either create guard villagers by giving an unemployed villager a sword or a crossbow. I believe that will create them, and then because I elevated them to high office, they'll trust me, and I can do what I need to do by giving them new armor and weapons. Number 2 is getting Hero of the Village, and I don't know that we're ready for that yet, because of course that would mean we have to take on a raid. We might manage, but I don't want to risk it. So because of that, I was thinking, why don't we use this area and maybe build up like a barracks type area and a training yard for new recruits, and then over where we have the mine entrance, we can maybe do like a quarry over here because obviously we need that for building new things. We also need to organize the road system because this is that's all over the place. I did get rid of most everything over here, and the stone will make it a bit difficult, but what I might do is use a lot of that dirt and just create a pathway that goes forward a bit and then left and right, which I just said backwards, and then we can pick a spot for a training yard and probably surround it by barracks. That way, we'll be able to start building our army, and they'll actually listen to me. So, if that's the case, we'll actually want to grab a bit of that dirt back. Turns out I shouldn't have put it all away. And wherever we think we're going to need pathways, let's just make sure it's dirt. That way we can actually make it into a pathway, and that should allow us to fast travel when we need to. So let's get this marked out, and then we can start deciding where we're building everything. I'm just going to bring this pathway all the way around the command center because then anything that we build, it'll be off of the same type of path. So you'll see I'm doing the same distance away, and it's just a way to get organized. That will look nice. Yep. Oh, I'm leaving this here too. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I just thought nice little sort of non-wooden structure that we can have. So see, I'm not destroying everything. There we are. Now we've got a central pathway around the command post, and I think I'm going to start up here. And I think what I'd like is almost similar to what we did over here with the barn and the farms. I want a training ground to be the central area so it kind of connects up nicely with the central path here. And then on either side, we can have barracks, place for these little rascals to live. So if that's the case, we'll have the entrance here to the training ground. About that wide should be plenty, and in total, something about that size should do nicely, which means plenty of area, on either side for a barracks area. So, should be room for maybe 2 rows of little houses, something like that. And it's kind of hard to tell because I use the same material for each, but if you can see my mouse pointer there, this will be the entrance to the training yard. That will go about this area here. And then on either side, we'll have 2 longer areas for barracks or living quarters. And between all of that, we could just have little pathways. So I guess we just need to get to work and figure out what kind of design we're looking at for this. Before we start the build, I just had a thought. We should probably keep some of the cows back here if we need them again, but I'm going to fill this area with sheep, or at least 2, and then do the whole feeding trough thing again, because what if we want to build some tents? We'll need wool to do that, so just on the off chance, I'm thinking I might need that. So we'll get started now, that way we can do some building. When we come back, we should have plenty of sheep. There we go. And I see 2 customers over here. Yoink. This should be a pretty good start. No. We're not playing that game. I mean, I love that game, but we're not playing it today. There we go. Then, yeah, I think I've got plenty in here. Put this in here. And before you know it, we should have tons and tons of sheep, which means we can get to building. And yeah, that gave us a decent amount of leather too. Unsurprisingly, we're going to stick with spruce for some of the entryway. Need to think about it so that for at least the time being, our recruits can't escape the training yard. No leaving until your training is complete. So for now, we can accomplish that with a gate. And I think, well, they might actually be able to get out of there. Can they? Well, no, that should stop them, maybe? I guess we'll find out. For the foundation, I'm thinking just some cobblestone variants. And I'm going to swap between these, so for now we're just going to kind of go every once in a while, put a couple down. I'm sure this is going to continue to look bonkers in time-lapse, but that's okay. It's kind of fun. We can fill it with more spruce, some accents with the cobblestone. There we go, that looks pretty good. Now we just need walls. I like these nailed spruce logs, slightly industrial. Or it looks like there's added fortification to them. We'll have fence on top of that. That might be good. I think I might just want to change out some of the tops of these. But aside from that, we might be ready. Still have to set up the inside though. I think if we take out the top and put one of those on, that way it just kind of gives it a little bit of a cap on top of there. I like that. With a torch, obviously. Okay, there we go. And I do have a specific plan for inside here, so let's go get the materials that we'll need for that. Because what is one thing that every training yard needs? That's right, we're gonna make some training dummies. And it should be as easy as setting them up. Got like a wicker, is that what it is? Basket woven spruce plank? But that to me looks like something that's just woven together that won't break our recruit swords. That you're not a recruit. Get it, bug eyes. Anyway, we can put levers on the sides and then they look happy. We go Boop. Nope, no, wrong one. Boop, there we go. There's our training. It looks happy to be attacked. But if we do that, it looks a little bit more menacing, especially as the sun falls. But that should do, yeah. Boop, boop, boop. All right, there's some training dummies on that side. Now we just do the other. I like it. That's very good. And we should probably just put some other things behind here, like maybe chests or barrels, because I think this will be where we keep the armor, so that once our recruits are ready, we can don them with their gear, and other little bits and bobs that we find as well. I don't know if I need them to be the sophisticated kind, but I made them that anyway because we have it, so why not? Put some hay over here, barrels next to that, one over here. There we go. I guess it might not be a bad idea to have light in the middle of this somewhere. Actually, do I still have the glowstone? I can maybe put a couple in the center. That should light the rest of it up, just in case those torches don't reach the center area. And why am I doing all this running? We can make a sign over here to Principia. I've been calling it the command post. I probably should have been saying Principia. That's a bit more technical. So what is it? Sneak. Yeah, so charting. Then if I go in here, will it still work? Charting? Will it work? Yes, please. And then maybe we can put signs over here. And then we'll say to the Castra, or training grounds. That's kind of a close-ish translation, I think. So if we do that, path charted, then if we... No, I keep wanting to right-click. Left-click. There we go. Now we don't have to run back and forth. Much better. Hey, what are you doing here? You better not be stealing dirt that I need. Anyway, oh, I was going to get the glowstone. That was the point of that. That is much easier. So let's say you two are going to be replaced with glowstone, and now we should be good. Which means we just need some recruits in here. And then we can get to building the barracks. And we're not putting these guys in because they just refuse to get along with me. Doesn't matter how much reputation I have with the trader plebs. Titus, he just will not let me access his inventory. So they will just be, maybe we'll call them auxiliaries. Yeah, you're around just defending the fort, but we'll have our actual legion training in here. And for that, I think we just want some fresh new pleb villagers, which we've got 5 recruits ready to go in here. I need to refill this because I would like more than 5. Fortunately, this has been growing. There we go. Keep them coming. Ooh, we're almost full over here, too. We can move that to storage. And then before we sleep, let's just make sure that our new recruits can't escape if we put them in here. Welcome to your new training ground. Publius! It's you! Hey, Publius. Wondering when you would show up. Marcellus. We've got Agrippina, Diana, and of course, Aurelius. And good, this is what I was worried about. You can't get out, right? Also, why does it look so dark in the corners over here? Maybe to be safe for now, I'm going to do this. We do not want our burgeoning legion turning into a zombie legion. It's not a legion of the undead. Okay, tomorrow we begin training. And then, yeah, we need the barracks too. I almost forgot. Anyway, let's sleep. No, silly, it's not your bed. Get off of that. That could be a problem over there. Let's get rid of that. Oh yeah, I haven't used the bow yet. Well, now I have. Okay, the way I understand it, by the way, with these jobless plebs, I should be able to hand them a sword or a crossbow, and that will enlist them in the Legion. My question is, can I use a gladius, or does it have to be like a typical type of sword? So that means we're going to talk with Valerius, and we'll get a test subject. Oh yeah, I've got tons of coins. I would like a mains gladius, and let's start with some legionnaire leggings. And then I wish there was a shield that we can make that was specific, more Roman shield, but I didn't see one, so let's just do a regular shield. And now we find out if we can make our first recruit, or was all for naught. All right, Publius, buddy, you're going to be our first. Now, I'm assuming I don't want to left-click because that would attack, but right-clicking should be just fine. So, Publius, if I right-click on you... Oh, no. Can I not use the gladius? It wouldn't be because I'm holding a shield, right? Can you take that? No? Oh, wait, it might be crouch right-click. So, Publius, give me some space. Crouch, right-click. Yes! We want you as a new recruit. Now, please tell me I can get into your inventory. Yes! Publius, 20 health, 0 armor. But that's going to change. You get some legionnaire leggings. Oh, looking good, buddy. A shield. Oh, man, you are ready to go. I'm going to get you some more armor. You look great, Publius. Ooh, I'm excited. Actually, and I didn't notice, these are Optio leggings. That's better, which means I'm taking these. We'll get a chest plate, and there's no helmet. We might get another one of you, Valerius, but for now, yeah, Legionnaire is 5 and 0.6, these are 6 and 0.7, so I'm taking the Optio leggings. We'll give Publius better armor. He just won't have a helmet for now. Oh, you stand out now, Publius. Chest plate, and... oh wait, I already gave you the leggings. I'm dumb. So we would actually need boots and a helmet. Okay, but man, look at you. You are ready. You are ready to fight the barbarian hordes. So how about this? I'm going to leave you to whip some of these recruits into shape, Publius. I'm counting on you. I can't directly, take on the training for everybody. But when I get back, we'll work on getting everybody crossbows and swords. I need to go build the barracks, but I expect some discipline when I get back, Publius. Yes, Imperator. Would that be so hard? Yeah, so after we have the barracks, that's something to think about. We might get a second one of these. I'm assuming it's just random, and we could get a helmet and maybe different kinds of swords or something, but then we'll also need a crossbow, which these guys sell, so we can do that as well. Okay, we've got a plan. Let's check on the sheepsies, and then we can worry about the barracks. Oh yeah, that's happening quickly. Okay, good. We shall gather materials, and we shall work on the barracks. As much as I like the idea of having raw recruits of the Legion bivouacking in the great outdoors, sleeping on the ground, getting nice and dirty like they deserve, I decided that it was probably a better idea to get some clean barracks set up for them instead. Nobody needs an outbreak of the Flux ruining a perfectly good Castra before we even have an opportunity to defend it against a barbarian attack. That is not too shabby. Right, Livia? Pretty simple. Just used a lot of different kinds of spruce, stripped spruce, oak planks, stripped oak, and then I did go mining for some granite because I thought it would look nice to add a little bit of color in here. Like I said, I think before, I want the majority of the look to be wood, mainly spruce, because that just gives me the vibe that I'm looking for, but I thought for the barracks it might be nice to have a bit of what I think of as a Roman roof, which is the red granite color. But we have ample space. The only problem is they're completely empty. And while I do expect a lot of my legionaries, I don't expect them to sleep on the floor. So we need to get a lot of beds and maybe some barrels for storage. And we could even put in some like little tables and things. So let's grab some additional things to bring in. And it's actually a good thing that we made all those sheep. I still do think I'm going to need some extra stuff for tents if we go and do that. Oh wait, we don't have a way to teleport to the barn yet. Let's do that. We'll call the barn Villa Rustica, and fortunately, pretty much everything is developed now, so I don't have any trouble charting these paths. There we go. Now, let's get a bunch of wool. We need, like I said, tons of beds in there. And see, this is why it's always good to be prepared. Maybe I'll need sheep, maybe I won't, but aren't we glad that we set this up now? We don't have to wait. I certainly am. And I'm sure we'll be back for more. But for now, see what kind of damage we can do here. 17 beds, that's probably a good start. Because, yeah, I mean, I definitely want more than, say, 5 in each barracks building. Oh, I forgot about that. Whoops. That's kind of going to be a pain. Oh, well. That's why we have the fast travel. So, if we start here near the back, maybe 2 spaces between, well, yeah, that way I can get 5 on each side. They should be pretty close together, like, this isn't a villa for a senator. Maybe one day, who knows? One of the legionaries could rise up to supplant me. Yeah, right, Octavius. Oh no, Octavius. I was just joking. That could be Augustus in the future, we don't know. Let's just mind our business and keep an eye on that one. But yeah, we are definitely gonna need more beds. Let's see if I can math this. 23 more? But in the meantime, I was also thinking we can use pressure plates because I think that's how they usually do it in villages, and use that to make a table. So for example, next to each bed we can put a bit of fence, pressure plate on top, and it just looks like a little side table. Nice and easy. Oh, already having a look, are we, Antonia? It's not totally done yet, but I mean, yeah, you can pick a cot, pick a spot. Did not mean to rhyme. There we go, and then we'll say 2 barrels off to each side over here for space, and that looks good to me. So this is what we'll do with each one. They'd better be thankful that they have such a considerate commander. Yeah, look at this. They're sniffing out the beds from all the way across the map. They're like, ooh, you smell that? Oh, and you took the barrel. Good. Octavius is going to be a fisher, avoiding his fate there, which means we can keep command. More beds, sheep. Actually, we should refill this while we're in here as well. Get even more sheep for infinite beds. Not the goal of most 100 Days videos. And not the goal of this one either. And with that, this is 2 down, 1 to go. No, 2 to go. I don't know why I said 1. Clearly 2. Number 3 done. Ooh, you've looked better, buddy. What happened to you? Guess I didn't go to bed on time a couple nights. That should be the last of the beds we need. In fact, I only need 7. By the way, I'm glad this worked out so that there's actually space to walk between the beds down this line here, because I did no counting whatsoever when I was putting this together. I just kind of winged it. The old Legion special. There we go. Everybody has a place to stay. They have their very own little table that also makes a fun little noise when you step on it, I thought. There we go, yeah. And a bit of storage if they need it. And with that, we are done with the barracks and the trading ground. Did I say trading ground? Training ground. So soon we need to check in with Publius, see how he's doing with the other 4 recruits, but at the same time, I'm wondering if it's worthwhile to up production on that easy villager stuff, just to give us a lot of different recruits. I kind of forgot about this, so we gotta fill that back in. We've got 2 more right here. Is that necessary? Do we need to do that? I'll think about that. I need to clean up the inventory anyway, because it'll either be outfit the rest of the plebs, which actually maybe we should get another trader for that, Roman trader, because I wouldn't mind being able to buy some of the things that we can't yet buy, which was mainly bootlace and helmet. Isn't that right, Valerius? Yeah, let's do that. It's raining anyway. I can get trade started with the second one, and we'll just see if we get different rolls on that. Works out pretty well. We had the 1 spot left, but I'm thinking now, if we need more traders, this simply will not do. So eventually that might be another project, a second trading hall. I can't help but think you guys are supposed to have some kind of hat, and it just is not working out, Titus. Right? Titus? Yeah. Hey, Titus. Oh, good. You've already got a helmet. So I'll use the rainy day to level this guy up all the way. We'll see what he has, and then we'll decide on next steps from there. And already this guy's just really working out. He's got a helmet and bootlace, so we are solid. Ooh, Optio chest plate. That's one of the ones I need. Yeah, why not? Let's upgrade. 6 armor to 0.6 and 7 to 0.7. It is better. I shall take it. Ooh, looking good. Look at that. Ooh, Optio bootstrap too. Another upgrade for us. 2 and 0.6 to 2 and 0.7. This guy just upgrading everything. By the way, I didn't realize you can't turn Bag of Coin back into actual coins, which seems pretty strange, but I've had to trade for new coins. And I'm just storing everything over here when I get it, because we'll hopefully just be able to quickly equip anybody that we need. Wasn't really counting. What have I got here? Pretty close, actually. Good, good. And you also have the mains Gladius. So no upgrade there, but we do need more, so we'll take them. I would say that was a worthwhile endeavor. Put the swords over here. While we're at it, we'll grab crossbows. Gotta have your ranged units, right? Alright, I think we're all set. We've got lots of bootstraps, helmets, chest plates, crossbows, gladius, and now leggings. It means as soon as we're ready, we can start filling out our little training camp here. And while I'm thinking about it, we have everything Optio now except for the helmet. And all we need to upgrade it is just a bunch of plate. So, put that here, surround it with plate, Optio helmet, which is really not much better, but it is a little bit better. There we go, we are now an Optio. And in case you're curious, Optio is kind of like a second in command to the Centurion. Centurion being the commander of a century, or a unit of about 80 men. So we definitely still need to upgrade because we are not an Optio. Can you imagine? In fact, that's the next one, and it's pretty easy to go up and we can get a nice little red plume on top. I kind of want that. Let's do some more upgrading. Get some red dye, do that, red wool. We need more plate. I don't remember, I think it was 4. Was it like that? Yeah, Centurion helmet. That's got to look much better, right? Oh yeah, got some red, got some gold, that's much better. What about the rest? Ah, that's where the coin came in, and we need that chainmail again. Didn't we get like a ton of leather? Yeah, let's just see. Let's just see what we can do. We can get 8 chainmail. And this is the one where we actually need a coin. So Centurion chest plate, I need the plate still, but we have everything else. We can do that. There we go. Centurion chest plate. Try that on for size. Ooh, looking like a commander now. The leggings need a bit more plate. No problem. Got that. In fact, you usually can see. So if I put these on, oh yeah, we've got actually like a leather under tunic now. Oh yeah, there we go. And finally, the one that I don't think you'll actually be able to see anything. Need one more leather string. There we are. Yeah, doesn't really make a difference. That's alright. We now have, if you look down at the armor bar, that is full armor. Feeling good about that. Probably won't do it yet because I want to wear this for a little while, but what is the next one? Is it Legatus? And it looks like a pretty similar type of upgrade. Yep, just blue wool, so it changes it to blue. Lots more plate. Lots more plate. At least that's the easier one to get. Okay, so we can upgrade pretty soon. I nearly forgot about improving the mine. And we have this area back here next to the barracks. It's nice and open, so I'm thinking we can maybe take a chunk out of this like it's a quarry, and then put maybe a crane over here that's holding up some of the stuff that got taken out of this eventual hole in the ground. Speaking of that, the audiobook that I'm listening to, I'm pretty sure the narrator is Welsh, because if he were to say something like hole in the ground, it would be more like the hole in the ground. I can't do accents. Well, maybe an easier one. When he says year, it's more like yeah, next yeah. Is that Welsh? Somebody let me know. I can only guess. This, I think, should work. Just a little area to show that there's been some work done. and then a crane over here, almost as if we lifted what was in here out. And how do I want to do that? Let's say that as the path ends here, we can have the base of the crane down at this side. And we've just got some cracked stone. We can use these extra slabs I have to make it a bit wider. Some stairs on top of that, and that could be the base of our crane. How tall do we think we need this? Probably a good ways up, because by the time we reach it and we have it go over this way, we're still going to need space beneath it to build like a basket carrying stone. So we want a crane arm coming out this direction. Something like that should do. We're going to need a lot more, like something over on this side, but also decorations probably on the, I don't know, structural center pole, whatever that is. I know technical terms. I did bring a couple things. I don't know why I got down. I was going to need to get back up here. Grindstones, because I think what we can do, if we put that there, this would be easy in create, but what I'm trying to do, since we don't have that, is give it look like a pulley system, something that would be here and then another one at that end, and they can be connected by chains. So bring these together over to this one, and then one or two on here, because we want to leave space for whatever it would be called, the stone carrying basket. Yes, that's the technical term. I know all of these words. In fact, we could probably use some of these nailed oak log, bundled oak log, and then replace some of these. Might look a bit strange, but I don't want it to be so consistent throughout. So one at the bottom, one at the top. Add some stone for a bit of extra weight. Then maybe stairs between these, round it out a little bit. There we go, just so it looks like it has some weight at the back. We should put something in the middle. That looks a bit weird. And it depends on what I have on me. I guess buttons? Just a little boop, boop. Maybe some trapdoors up near the top. And we'll also do some here to help with the transition between the two different looks. And hopefully, it's now looking decent. Do this and then take a look again. Yeah, that's not too bad. Especially if you imagine this is just, you know, army engineers putting this together in the Legion. That's not bad at all. So let's get this basket put in. Or whatever it's called, citizen. Don't know how big I want it, but that is probably too small. That looks a bit better. Out of curiosity, can I put... No, I can't put a ladder there. That, I think, would have looked nice. Because what I was thinking is that sort of thing on the side. Well, I guess we could put... If we put stuff on there, we could do it around the edges of the stone. Let me see if this will work. So if we're hauling stone, I'll need to do something about the gap beneath this. And every once in a while, we'll have something like coal or copper ore just to mix it up a bit. Then this is where I was thinking we put the ladders around here. I guess we will need that extra one just to fill that gap. I was hoping to make it look thinner, but this should be fine. Okay, so that will be the base of it. Now we just need to make it higher. Keep covering in between all of this. Get it connected up. That's starting to look pretty good. And actually, I have an idea about how we might be able to make this thinner. But first, let's finish this up. Do I have slabs still? Yeah, just to make it so this transition isn't always so stark between the two. Okay, how do we feel about that? Could also do a few stone buttons. That always adds just a little bit something extra. There we go. Now, if we get rid of this, kind of forgot about the fact that we're not actually trying to hold all that up. It'll stay, which is why I'm confident going underneath here, breaking everything and not having it fall directly onto my head. But now, we've got these trapdoors. I'm thinking we just put these here. There we go. Have a look. Yeah, that looks better with the thinner bit on the bottom. I like the ladders. Looks like that's holding it in a bit. That is not too bad. I think we just need some stuff on the ground around here, just kind of strewn around. But with that, this should be pretty good. Oh, I wanted to do... Yeah, every time I say that, I come up with something else I've remembered that I wanted to do. I also had thought about changing this with stone, make it look more like a cave entrance sort of thing, and then build it up at the back. Still got some of these buttons, so we can use those here. More of the slabs. There we go. So more of a mine entrance there. And then grab some barrels, maybe a chest or two. Gotta look like we have something going on back here. It also wouldn't hurt to have a campfire running. And in fact, this might be the place to, what? Bonfire lit. Has that always been an advancement? That might be from a mod. Anyway, this might not be a bad place for one of those tents I was talking about. Yeah, let's grab some wool to Principia. And of course I need more to Villa Rustica. I love these teleport things, or fast travel. Oh my goodness. Things have been busy in here, but this is what we wanted. Can't even keep up with it. Okay, that's about 2 stacks. That should be plenty, I hope. To Principia, to the mines. And now for something completely different, or completely the same. So touch works here, yeah? Right, okay, good. We don't want it right underneath that, obviously. I might want to move these back a little bit, because if we have a tent right around here, hopefully we can make it that big and it won't look too awkward, and it doesn't get beneath that, which is good. We need fence holding it up. It's gonna be a tiny tent, but this is just for the quarry master, or whatever we're gonna say. There we go. Connect them up. How does that look? That is a bit bulky. We don't want it that bulky. Take out some here and some here. That's a bit better, but I think we could use one on top or something up here. Maybe something like that. There we go. Maybe some trapdoors at the entrance. Clear a path in here. Campfire out front. Barrels over at the side, and maybe one on the inside. Ow. Oh, I hate that. Head back down. There we go. With that, we have a nice little quarry area starting to come up, and it was all just based on the fact that the mine was here, but now we've got the crane, we've got a little area for the quarry, little tents, which I can see is attracting a visitor. Hello, Livia. Yes, I did do a fantastic job, thank you. Alright, sweet. I'm happy. Now that our area is set up back here, I think it's probably time to begin truly setting up the Legion. The only thing that crossed my mind before we got this started, well, first of all, are we missing somebody? Oh no, never. I didn't see the fifth. Okay, anyway. The only thing I was thinking, we can obviously equip the Legion now. But what I'm wondering is, should we get enchantments first to give us an edge? You know, we can get protection on some of the gear, or sharpness on the blades. We could enchant the crossbows, things like that. Because I'm sure they do a fine job just with the regular gear, but, I mean, it couldn't hurt to give our legionaries an edge, as I said. So because of that, I'm wondering if we should build another structure maybe over here to house more traders, specifically librarians, that give us the enchantments that we need to make better gear, and then we can equip our legion. So with that in mind, maybe we build a tower or some kind of watchtower over here, because we don't really have anything too tall where we can see if barbarian hordes are attacking. And it could double as I said, trading hall for enchantments. So I think I'll do a bit of prep over here, flattening this out just a little bit, because in my mind, I think it makes sense to have it branch right off this road right here. And it doesn't line up really nicely yet. In fact, right where this X is would probably be a really good spot. So there's no need to have this higher bit here. There we go. Now we just clear some of this area out. There we go. Now we've got a space for a tower. I also need to remember not much of the area is lit up, and since these already exist from the village, we'll probably do something very similar to that, but at many of the intersections that we have along here, just kind of like street lighting. So we'll get to that eventually. But for now, I need materials to build something right here. The first question is, how big are we going? And I'm thinking a diameter of 15 would work well for us. So let's get that marked out first. It does drop off the edge back here, but I think if we just build up the base, it should look fine. There we go. So something like that. I did get some cobbled deep slate squares, something from Chisel, and that should work nicely for tile of the floor, at least for the border around it. I don't have a lot of deep slate. Then just so we can change the color up, we'll go with some oak planks. There we go. Now, what do we want the tower itself to look like? Very good question, citizen, and I say we just start placing things until we find something we like. For the base, I'm just switching off between spruce and oak and stripping them. There we go, that'll work, very nice. And then because it's a watchtower, I think we'll bring it in towards the center once we get to ceiling level, and then build it up much higher. This should do nicely for a first level because I'm planning on using easy villagers, so we don't need tons of space. I just want to be able to get up to the second level, and then I think we need something here. I just don't like how it's such a rough corner there. We might put some stairs there, and then after that, we'll build up the tower. We also need a fast travel point to here. There we go. And what should we call this? I'm gonna call it the Oracle's Tower. Not that we have an oracle yet, but maybe once this little burgeoning settlement becomes an important outpost, then we will. So that is what we wanted. I think we'll just do stone stairs, and then I'll want accents eventually, and I'm thinking something like this. Ornate, mossy cobblestone pillar. Yeah, that should look nice. Back to Oracle's Tower. So if we do stairs along this, do we want to connect them or just do something like that? I think that'll look nice, actually. And on the parts where there's one here, we can actually put the mossy stuff to there just to accent it a little bit. Perfect. That looks good. Now for the tower. This part I want pretty small compared to the circle at the bottom. I guess I didn't go that much smaller, but most likely it'll get thinner as we go up. Because if we keep building towards the center, it should naturally happen, obviously. And we'll just keep changing what type of block that we're using just to give it a nice amount of complexity. Because right here, we're already at the tallest point in the camp so far, so it doesn't need to be massive. But I'm thinking after we do this row, maybe one more pass around doing 3 higher. Then we add the top, and we're good to go. Build our way up through the middle. There we go. Now we've got a way up. Make sure that we have at least some light up here. All right, let's have a look. Yeah, that's not too bad. I think we still need a little bit more down here. Maybe signs, trapdoors, things like that. Something around the base. And maybe even like a little fence around it. So a bit to do down there, but I think everything else is looking good. And then of course we still have to do all the villager work inside, but I wanted to make sure we had a structure first. So maybe trapdoors around these little window bits that I have. A few fence for accents. I can't reach. That's looking a bit better, and I think it'll look even better once we have, because right now I've just really been doing structures. I haven't been doing this sort of area, like landscaping, I guess you would call it. So I have plans to go around and add more of these along the edges of the pathway that will probably bone meal or use a lot of the flowers and trees and shrubs that we have to fill it out a little bit more, but for the most part it should be pretty orderly and contained as far as landscaping goes. But either way, I want to get started on the villager portion of this, so let's go clean out the inventory and get what we need to... I don't actually know what we need. I think it's the trader villager blocks, and I have no idea how to craft them, so let's figure that out. I don't know why I ran. I had that fast travel set up. Auto traders are really cool because, like it sounds, I think you just put what you need in there and then automatically it takes care of the trades, but it requires netherite because it's a really good block. So for now, we're just going with the trader, which is very easy to make. Oh, farmer. That would have been handy earlier. I did not even think about that. Doesn't matter. We need lots and lots of these. So iron, redstone, glass pane. Well, no, that's a decent amount of redstone. I was going to say we might need more. How many can we make with that? 7. And glass is actually the bottleneck for now. Let's get a bit more glass. Yeah, I just don't like the uneven number. Well, I guess for now we could just get 6. We'll start with that, then we can make more. We also need villagers to put into these, and I think probably the job block too. Excuse me. What are you doing, Camilla? That's right, get down from there. Don't give me that look. It's like they don't even know that I'm in charge. Outrageous. All right, we've got 5 ready to go. This, we should automate some of this, because we could get a farmer block, a breeder block, and an incubator block and make it fairly straightforward. Yeah. All right, give me a minute. I'm going to do some collecting. Okay, I've got some stuff. I think that is probably all that I need, but let's go find out. Nope, not going to run. Oracle's Tower. So this will all be for trading, which means up here, I can set up something behind this that should be pretty streamlined. At the bottom, we want a chest. Hopper, well, just so it's not quite as tall, let's put the chest here. We can grab it from the side. Hopper leading into that. That will be the incubator. My hope is that villagers won't go into here until, yeah, because it's an input and output, so the output should be grown villagers. So I'm hoping we can just deposit grown villagers into this chest. And again, trying to keep it not as tall. I could go straight up, but I'm trying to keep this so I can reach everything, because I didn't plan this ahead of time, as you can see. The breeder, I want on there, because then the baby villagers will go into the incubator, then they come out into the chest, and then into the breeder, we want our farmer putting food. So food goes into the breeder makes baby villagers, that goes into the incubator makes adult villagers, that goes into the chest. So that way we should always just have more coming in here. I hope this works though, I don't actually know. I've never tested this, I don't think. So let's just see, I've got a villager here. If I put him into there, we've got a farmer. But I'm guessing I have to give you, like, something to plant. Ow. And I didn't bring that, so let's run back and grab, what do you think? Probably, well, I've got carrots in here. Do I have potatoes? I do. Yeah, let's do potatoes. So am I right in thinking that I just give you potato? Planted it? Ow, I keep doing that. I saw it get planted though, it's in there. So I assume that's it. It's just gonna output potatoes now and go into the next one. For the next one, we need 2 villagers in there. Hopefully this is a worthwhile investment because I just spent 3 villagers and materials, but that should be it. So I guess we just check after a while to make sure that this is receiving potatoes and this is receiving villagers and this just has more. So yeah, we really just have to wait at this point. And we have 2 left to start our trades. So down here, we maybe set up something like a little table here. Then each side can hold 3 traders, and we may need more eventually, but I think starting with 9, that's going to give us most of what we need. So what happens if I put you in here? Nothing, right? Because you need a job block. Okay, well, let's get some lecterns, and then I think we'll be in business. Oh, this Enderman. Oh, should we get Fletchers too? We already have some over here. I don't know that I want to repeat it, but I will need a way to get emeralds, and might be annoying to go back and forth. I don't know. We'll see how we do. We'll get a few to start, and then with you, we just need a lot of bookshelves. Then we can make lecterns. The university is beginning. Who wants to go to college? That's right, you do. There we go, perfect. Ooh, that's actually pretty good, efficiency 4, but it's not really what we're looking for now. I didn't even think about what we need. If we want to outfit the Legion, we probably want protection and sharpness at least. Right, Camilla? It's you again. Have you just been hanging around here? Why don't you get to work? Go do some guarding. Hey, getting in my face like that. No discipline. Alright, so I think we're reaching a lull. I'll probably wait to see if this is working and outputting anything. Oh, it is. We've already got some potatoes in here, so we know that this is working. I just need to check then that we get something in here and in there. Once those are full, I'll be filling more of these out, but I think what I'll do while I wait for that to happen is just go collect a bunch of emeralds with the Fletchers. That way, when we're ready to go, we shouldn't get held up by emeralds. We'll just have a ton, and we'll be good. So, I'll let you know once we've made progress on that. Check it out, citizen. It's working. In this chest, we have an adult villager, which means the whole process works. It's not necessarily backed up yet, but, well, here it is. We've got a baby villager in this hopper. This is now full, which means this is automated. I've also been working on a couple other things. I did add 3 extra iron farms in here, just because why not? Why wouldn't we be generating tons of iron? I can also use it to trade over with the toolsmith that I have, so that's something else we can do. I've got 3 villagers here. I'm about to add a 4th. So as soon as we have all these filled, I mean, I don't necessarily have to wait. I put a barrel here. We've got 3.5-ish stacks of emeralds, so I could start. The one thing I didn't think about is everything that we want to enchant for the villagers, that's going to take levels. So I don't know that I can go nuts. But I'm thinking like at least sharpness on swords and some protection. That wouldn't go amiss, and I wouldn't mind it for my armor either. So maybe we go grab some books and see if we can at least get protection and sharpness. The rest might just be for me, because I'm a greedy boy. What can I say? Oh, I did add some extra lights around too. I don't know which ones are mine and which were natural, but I just started lighting up the area because I had time while I was waiting for the villagers. So, we'll get an extra one of these. That gives us 3 books, not bad. And then we'll see what these villagers want to offer us in here. You still have efficiency 4. I might leave you. Let's start with you. Power 5. I would almost get that, but that's an obnoxious price. 59 emeralds, no thanks. Kind of the same with this one, Infinity. I don't need it, like, right away. I'm gonna see a lot of that. Ones that I want, but I don't need yet. Now it's a cheaper Infinity. Nope, stay strong, stay strong. Sharpness 4, and that's a decent price. I mean, I can always combine 2 to get sharpness 5, and I can give sharpness 4 to the rest of the Legion. My blade should be sharper, shouldn't it? Yeah, let's do sharpness 4, that's fine. In fact, we'll get 2, because we'll start with all of my gear. I get priority, citizen. And can I make an anvil over here? Oh yeah, no problem. Put that right there. Bonk. Jeez, expensive. 5 levels just to get sharpness 5. And then I didn't check. I can enchant this stuff, right? I really hope so. Yeah, okay, good. We'll name that the Imperator's Gladius. That sounds good to me. Alright, onward. We would like protection. Ooh, power 5 again. Or did I get that before? I don't know. Let's just keep going. Ooh, there's mending for 10. We might want to do that. Yeah, you've convinced me. I'll take one. We should get signs. I'm gonna get confused. So you are sharpness, you are mending, and I think we will. Just a reroll. We don't need efficiency yet. The second one that we do, he gives me a cheaper efficiency 4. Probably worth going just to 5 though. Like I said, I don't really need it yet. Or really for anything. I'm not doing a ton of mining. Oh, there's sharpness 5, but that's super expensive. 59. Yeah, this is actually cheaper. 44 for sharpness 5. Just got to spend the levels. Yeah, no thank you. Prot 3, that's the first time I've seen it, but I kind of want to get this. I know the next roll would be Prot 4 for cheaper, but I'm feeling the same way as sharpness. We could get Prot 4, all of the Legion could have Prot 3. An Imperator's life is more important than the Legionaries, right? Or even if we got Prot 3, that's still a pretty big upgrade. Okay, I'm sold. Here we go. Protection, mending, sharpness. Now the only thing is, I don't know if I can still upgrade these to new level. What I mean by that is, like right now we have the Centurion gear. I don't know if I can enchant it and then go to Legatus, or if it won't let me do that. So we might want to upgrade this fully first. I don't even know what it would be, and then enchant it. So let's go do that. Get the best armor that we can, then we can enchant ours and start enchanting the Legionaries, because by then I think we'll have plenty of adult villagers that we can fill all of these with. Nice. We are making progress. Easy enough to get blue dye from Lapis. Aside from that, it's mainly just a ton of plate. So let's take all this off. And we're going to be upgrading to Legatus. Oh, it actually heals the durability when you do this too. Nice. Ooh, that's a big upgrade. 3 to 5. Then the chest plate, leggings, and... nope, the bootstrap. All right, we might not be keeping this for long, but how do I look? Ooh, nice. A little bit of a color change. It just keeps getting more, like, well-crafted and detailed with each level. That looks really good. Oh, wait a minute. The console one... that is just its own thing. I did not look at this. I probably should have. Just takes gold. Also, we could have branched off. This one, the Legionnaire, can be built into Aquilifer? How would you say that? Or Miletes. Oh, so yeah, there was a branching point there. I should have looked. I could have been either Legatus or Praetorian, but Legatus actually looks better. So I guess we made the right choice. And then if we want the console stuff, we can. It's just gold and leather and stuff. But I actually really like the Legatus gear. Look at that. And apparently that's the height of gear. So that means we should be good to enchant it. So what I'll do, I'll probably use the rest of these 10 days that I'm working on. We'll keep getting emeralds, books, locking in the traders over here to get enchantments that we think we'll need. And that means in the next 10 days, we can finally start getting the Legion equipped and enchanted. All right, let's do it. Yep, I told you it would happen, citizen. 27 emeralds for Prot 4, and I don't even have enough, but I am going to lock that trade in. Because 27 for Prot 4 versus what we had, 28 for Prot 3. So yeah, I feel a little bit foolish, but we got it figured out, which means I think we want to take you away. He's locked in, kind of useless now. I locked you in, so you should be good now if I move you to this one. Yes, okay, good. Anyway, I got Infinity and Power. I'm going to keep working on it. Just had to point out my little screw up there, but we live for those, don't we? Progress has been made, citizen. If we look at our armor, we now have Mending and Protection 4 on everything, and I also got Feather Falling 4 for the boots, and then Imperator's Gladius has Sharpness 5, Mending, and Looting 3, and now we have Diana's Bow, Unbreaking 2, Power 5, and Infinity. I ended up getting 4 sets of these, Protection 4 Optio Chestplate, and a Sharpness 4 Main's Gladius. These will go to, I would say, the captains, but I mean, it's Optio Chestplate, so essentially the Optios. We won't have any Centurions yet, but essentially we'll have 4 special units. The rest will get the typical gear unenchanted. I also didn't look, how many do we have? Just 2 here, because we do want to start building out the unit count at the training grounds, and we have 1 over here. Okay, so now it's the time that everybody's been waiting for, specifically everyone in here. And I think it only makes sense to start by upgrading Publius by giving him one of the Protection 4 Optio chestplates, a bootstrap, and a Legionary helmet. You can also get an enchanted Gladius. See, look, they're all crowding him. They know he's important. Wow, look at you, Publius. That's the first time that I've seen a villager that actually looks decent. No offense, Marcellus. But wow, look at you. You're ready to go. Okay, let's put these in here in the training ground. And I haven't decided who gets to be a captain yet, aside from Publius. So for now, enchanted gear goes in here. We'll make that decision later. And then we'll try to do equal amounts of ranged units and melee units. So for example, Agrippina, you will get a crossbow. Perfect. Aurelius, you get the Gladius, and so on and so forth. We'll just get everybody at least started with some weapons. And then it might take a minute, but I'm going to go through and try to get an even amount of gear going here. And in fact, we should pay attention. The Legionnaire leggings, since they're just a little bit less armor, we should give those to the ranged units. And then the Optio leggings will go to the front ranks, as it were. Okay, so you, Severus... or Servius, sorry. You are ranged, so you will get Legionnaire, 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 Legionnaire. Ooh, looking good. And then Aurelius, you are a melee unit, so you get Optio gear, except for the helmet, obviously. We may get shields, but something else I think you could do instead, if you have any extra food, I believe. Yeah, you can put a food item in their offhand, and then if they get damaged, they will eat that and heal, which is pretty awesome. So you get food, Aurelius. And I think there was two more actually. I know I saw someone else with a sword. There you are. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. We'll give you some food. And last up, we've got one more, and we are just about out of gear. In fact, I don't have any more chest plates. Yeah, we're gonna have to go back to that trader. So Marcellus, I need to get you a few more things, but we'll be back. Okay, so oh yeah, see, you're jealous now. No. You, Servius, you need to stay in there. We're not ready yet. But yeah, I was gonna say, Camilla's jealous looking at all that nice armor. You won't let me in your inventory though, so what can I say? Yeah, oh well. Anyway, I'm going to do some trading. We'll get some extra gear, make sure everybody's outfitted, and then actually, I don't know how many total I want, but I have plans to post units at strategic locations. So we'll probably have one in each of these. We'll call them archery towers, at least one archer in each of these. And I have to build a floor, obviously, to do that. And then we will be building a wall around the entire encampment, and same thing, we'll have archery towers, and then probably guard posts for all of the melee units. But everybody needs to be outfitted first, and that means more trading. So I'll get started on that. I'll let you know when we're all outfitted, and then we can start posting our guards. We're back stocked up a little bit on these things, but I'm also curious. If you go into the inventory, there's this, which is, I think, patrol. So I'm wondering if we just take you, for example, and put you right here and quickly do that, and then I activate patrol. Does that mean you don't stay here? Or maybe you just stay in a, little tiny area? I was wondering if you'd stand in one place or move around a bit. Because that's off, that's on. You would think maybe patrol just means move around in the general area and come back to where you were. Yeah, that might be it. Okay, that'll come in handy because I was planning on having them stay in a certain area. We could actually probably do that. Let's sleep, and then I'm going to see if I can get 4 archers posted up at these. So you're going to be our guinea pig, Servius. You come with me, and we'll have to put you out there. Quickly do that. Pick you back up. All right, we're good. And I did make a place to stand up here. So if we go up this way, then I made a little ladder right here that goes up to this. And I was hoping you could stand right there. And then if I reset it, say patrol, does that mean you're going to stay up here? Because I don't really want you going too far. Especially, I don't want you going down here. And it looks like you're behaving yourself. Because I'm thinking he can stand up here and then aim down if any enemies breach the walls. You're our last line of defense, Servius. Take your job seriously. Okay, so let's get 4 and put them on each one of these. I think I have 4 ranged units, so that should be all right. Finally put a carpet here so we can just jump out instead of having to keep risk opening that people getting out. Okay, so same thing here. We want you there. We turn patrol on. Double check. You're not going anywhere, right, Agrippina? Yeah? You're gonna stay? Okay. Yeah, I mean, we'll know if we check in a minute and they're not there, then we'll know. For now, it's looking good. It also is a nice way to distinguish who's who because I'm not outfitting any of the ones that are out here that I can't really control, like Antonia here. So if we see somebody walking around with sick gear, we know it's one of ours. Marcellus, to your post, man. No, not postman. Post, comma, man. There we go. And I think we have one more out there. If not, I've got the gear to make one more. No, I guess I didn't. Well, luckily, there's one standing over there. Legionary gear, crossbow. Actually, I just thought of something. Do they need arrows? Should probably run a test with this. But first... Oh, this is appropriate. Diana, goddess of the hunt. There we go. You're ready to go. Because I've seen some of the other ones, at night, if mobs start spawning, they'll shoot at them, but I can't open their inventory, so I don't know if they actually have arrows in it or not. That would be a nasty surprise if we need, archer support, and they're like, we can't fire, we don't have any arrows. Although, come to think of it, where would I even put arrows? I can't access, an additional bit here that, shows a quiver or something, so they must be good. Okay, there we go. Now we have archer sentries on each of the 4 towers, which makes me feel a lot safer. And at some point, I'm going to have to stop being lazy and build this wall up so we can actually have somewhere to post our frontline troops. We also still have space over here that needs to be filled. And the thing that came to mind, especially for this space right here, I was thinking we might want to forge. You and I both know we're just trading for gear, but it might look nice if we had a forge over here with a blacksmith and saying oh yeah, that's where all the armor's coming from. So maybe we work on that, but I need to make that decision. Do we work on the wall? Do we work on a forge? Do we work on getting more gear? I will ponder for a moment, and I will let you know. I've just been doing little chores around here and collecting a few things because I think what I'd like to do, I don't know if we're going to build the whole wall yet, but I want to do one section just so I can see what it's going to take to build the entire thing. Because one thing we know is at each of the corners we're going to have something like this, an archery platform. And if that's the case, we'll want to remove these to make sure the archers have a clear shot at anything coming at them. And we want to be mindful of how much we're going to need to spend material-wise. So this shouldn't be massive, it really just needs to hold an archer. So this would be what? 5 by 5? That's probably a good size. So something about that size, obviously we're going to build it up, but that will be at each corner, and then we could also probably disperse them throughout the wall, and then we're going to have to replace some of this fence because I have a different idea in mind. Yeah, let's at least just build this, and then we'll see what we want to do. I found these cobblestone pillars that we got with chipped, and that looks kind of nice for the top of this. I'm just wondering, can we get archers to stay up here, because it's a much smaller area? Because if we do something like that, they can still get up here, and I wouldn't want them falling off. So maybe we raise it up by one more, but then they won't be able to shoot anything. So maybe we actually want it up to here, then they can reach over. I think they should be able to shoot. And then we're going to need to make lots of ladders to be able to get up here. Oh, I wish I realized this. You can make different ladders with chipped. I didn't know that. Will it work with the chisel, or does it have to be like, oh, no way. That is cool. Do crooked rope plank ladder. That looks kind of neat. Learn something new every day. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, so that would be our way up here. And if we take a look back, I want to fill this area with something, but that doesn't look too bad. Kind of just mixing a few different kinds of stone and fence in the middle here just so it's not exposed. But I kind of like that, especially with this ladder. It looks like it was, kind of hastily thrown together, which makes sense. This is a new army camp, and we try to be orderly when we can, but we're more concerned with how efficient and effective something is. Plus, if we get something like this at different areas along the wall and then we beef up this portion, I think we'll have a good amount of protection. And then we'll need at least one archer on each of these. Oh yeah, I forgot to light it up. But that should work. You know what? Now that I've started this, I kinda just want to build the entire wall all the way around the perimeter, because we'll have to make some decisions over here too as far as where we're cutting it off, because it probably would be right around here. Yeah, either way, I'm kind of just ready to keep going now that I've started it, but it's a big project. So here's what we'll do. Let's decide what the area between each of these archery towers is going to look like, and then we'll go into time-lapse mode, which at least means you are going to get things done very quickly. I don't know how long it'll take me, but I could guess at least an hour, probably longer. So here's what I'm thinking. Actually, this will be a good way to count. I am going to take away the fence, I guess all the way across the back here, because I don't want to use the oak fence. I'd want to use spruce instead. And then that should give me a decent count, although, wait, no, maybe that won't work because there's multiple fence somewhere. I don't know. I was just wanting to know how long this back wall is so we know how many archery towers to do. Like, should it just be one on each corner and then one in the middle? Is that too sparse? Should we do maybe two in the middle? Yeah, either way, this will need to go. So let me count it out. We'll make that decision, and then I'll show you what I'm thinking for between the archery towers. That's the back wall taken care of, so I guess if we say this is the middle point, and where am I? I'm looking at my coordinates. That's about 283. It's right underneath the map, if you can see that. It's probably pretty small. And then over on this side, we're at 411. 128? Is that right? That would actually be, if my math is right and it's 128, that's actually really coincidental, because that's double 64. So basically it's using Minecraft numbering. What's that called? Where it's based off of, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 8 is 16, 2 times 16 is 32, 2 times 32 is 64, 2 times 64 is 128. It's kind of, computers use it too. I just forget what the name is for it. Anyway, that's, yeah, providential if that's the case, that we just happened to do it exactly that amount. In any event, if that's the case, that's about how long this is. We could go about 64 out and put one right in the middle. But that will probably be part of the time lapse anyway. I'll make that decision later. For now, we just want to decide what the interim bits are going to look like. And I had a thought, because we already have a bit of spruce going across there and here. So if we just connect to that and then put a vertical bracer against this, I was thinking we then had the opportunity to use stone on the top and bottom and then fill with spruce fence. How would that look if along the entire wall we had this? Because I was thinking it would be nice if we could see through. That way, as the barbarians approach, we have at least a way to see them. And if that was the entire fence, or wall at this point, that I think would be pretty good protection. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, no, 8. We want 8. That could be a little breaker right there. Just for a bit of light on top. Then we fill that portion, and that's what I'm thinking. This sort of thing, but replicated like dozens of times all the way around. If we did that, would we be happy? Or would I want fence on top of here too? I might want fence on top of here, but at least we could do that later if we wanted to. Oh boy, that's a lot of materials, that's a lot of placing. That is a lot of time lapse. See you in a bit, citizen. We've gotten this far and you haven't reminded me to include any Roman facts yet, citizen. Well, don't worry, I've got you covered. Now is the perfect time to talk about Roman walls. What we're building is kind of a blend between two types of walls. The kind built around a castra, or marching camp, would be temporary to fortify a camp every night while on the move. These were simple structures of dirt, turf, and wood, but were considered essential for securing troops and supplies. The other type, built around castella, or permanent forts, were typically placed strategically along roads and frontiers. Over time, these forts transitioned from wood and dirt to more durable stone constructions. Okay, let's talk a bit about what we've been working on. You of course will have noticed that the walls are up, mostly. There is still no wall on the north side of the fort. And we'll talk about that in a minute. I also just left the 2 archery towers. Pretty much everything else is just wall. But also, after I did that, I was taking more of a general look of the area and just saw a lot of empty spots that I didn't like, so I've been trying to fill some of those in. So for example, we have the same sort of thing we set up over by the quarry, where it's just a tent, little campfire, and then some barrels and chests, just to make it look, again, more occupied. I didn't like the empty corner over here. Same sort of thing throughout, more barrels, chests, hay, a little bit of a farm here just to fill up some of the space. And then also little bits of detailing like adding the trapdoors and the barrels in here just to make the floor look a little bit more interesting in the command center and fill out the center area a little bit. We've got another tent down at this side right next to the tower and a little docks area just in case you wanted a place to step over here and maybe do some fishing or grab your boat. But once again, this is open. It's not kind of connected up with the wall. It ends here on this side. And over on that side, it ends behind the temporary house, which means kind of a large portion here is still open. So you can decide, is that a strategic mistake, or are we just being bold? Either way, we probably should put an archery tower here at this corner of the wall, and probably, yeah, one over here as well. So I'll get to that eventually. It's going to be something pretty similar to those over there. But there is also a good amount of space still if we wanted to add that foundry or forge type of area, so I need to think about that. But first, since we do need the extra protection, I'm going to get those archery towers set up real quick, and then we can think about what else to build. Oh, actually, before I start, one more thing. I tried to speed up this process in here because I noticed the incubators was kind of where we were slowing down a little bit. So I made 3 of those all leading into the chest, and then I just manually come over, and anytime I need to, I pick up some of the baby villagers. Wow, we've got a lot. And then because that one's full, I could just manually put some into this. And same thing here, fill that up, and then we should... Oh yeah, look at that, we've got plenty. So we're going to be making lots more legionaries pretty soon. But first, we need that archery tower, or 2, or maybe even 3. Not sure yet, but we'll get them set up. And my thought is, we'll just put one here next to the temporary house, or the old house, whatever we're calling that. I'm not going to connect it to the side of the wall because I want it to have a bit more reach. For example, if we do have any barbarians coming in through this way, we'll be able to hit them. But also it reaches closer to the center, so we'll have, like as I said, a bit more reach over there. There we go. I think that one should be done. Yeah, that looks good. Now we just need one on the other side as well. And for the one over here, let's get a bird's eye view. There's still going to be a lot of exposed area here. We might get 1 or 2 more. I haven't decided yet, but for over here, it might be best to have it on this side of the river and do it like we were doing before, attached to the wall. Especially because we've got this here. It's a little bit higher and it's a forest. We might want to be able to see out into that. Yeah, let's attach it to the wall. There we go. Now we've got this attached up here. That should give us decent reach. I still need to do the bottom portion though. Get this all closed up and protected. There we go. And good. And I think as far as the rest of the open area over here, we'll just give it a thought. Probably closer to when we get near 100 days, because I spent a lot of time working on this wall and I'm kind of ready to try something else. In fact, this area where we're standing, that's kind of the last glaringly open area to me, apart from, you know, the coastline down here. So I think I will put just a little, like, blacksmith shop or foundry, armory, you know what I'm talking about. So what other options are available for stone? Gladstone. Oh, because it It actually looks like a happy stone. We're not talking about British prime ministers. Wasn't that a prime minister? Am I wrong about that? What else have we got? Checkered. I like the stone tiles. Let's get some of those. Maybe mix together the cracked, the stone tiles, and the mossy stone bricks. Why is it bricks? Nobody knows. Okay, what are we building here? And I already put down some lanterns, or, you know, these things. Do I want to keep them there, or should they move? I could probably fit them around that. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We'll say over on this side, there's gonna be one entrance, and it's got a little patio area out here. And then over on this side, same thing. So 2 ways to enter. And then some leftover pillars can mark the edges of this. We'll do stripped spruce as some of the foundation. Actually, this one might have to move just a little bit. Bring it out this way. Then we move up to the entrance. Is that one gonna have to move too? It'll be close. So that sort of shape for the building, because it doesn't need to be huge. Get some fences in here for the entryways. Now before I do walls and the roof, I'm thinking the inside is probably going to have like something... How do we do this? It'll be kind of close, but I like that idea where, you know, you come in and you're just right here. I was thinking like a lava pit or something. And then maybe this side will just be a bunch of tools and anvils and stone cutters and the things you would expect. We're going to get the rest of this framed in as well. And it kind of brings it back to a more rectangular shape, but that's just because we're going to probably have, would it be called like an awning or something type of thing on the corners. Yeah, that's not too bad. And then out here, we just have a little bit of a covering. While I'm thinking about it, something we haven't done much of yet, if we get a ton of trapdoors, I believe... Well, no, I did this earlier. Yeah, we can do it with spruce trapdoors. And we can either use that for windows or just for accents that are a bit more fun. Like the red one's pretty cool. If we do some of those, and then some leafy ones, perhaps. Can have that on some of these outer bits just to add some color and maybe frame in some of this. Then we can build up the walls, and like I said, we'll probably just do a blend of some of these different kinds of stone that we have, which means that's going to be too close to have these here. Excuse me, we're not open yet. Chicken criminals. Okay, so yeah, that is pretty small for a space, so I think what we'll do for that lava idea... Actually, what if it could be the middle? So either way, if you're if you're entering, you'd have your like lava furnace set up in the middle, and you could have work areas on either side. That's gonna work better. So boop, 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 boop. We will need 2 or 4 lava, because I want to put that in the middle here. But that will probably be the last thing that we do. What do we want to do for a roof? Oh, should we do windows? I didn't think about that. Maybe just break a few of these. And I mentioned it earlier, we could even use trapdoors as windows now, like these. Yeah, windowed spruce trapdoor, that'll look good. And then put you there. Do I want it like that? Or yeah, I think I like it recessed in there, but put some of these here. Why not? Okay, good. But yeah, how do we want to cover it? Because I don't know if I want a, like this, like a sloped roof on top, or if it should be flat. One thing we'll need is a chimney leading out of here, and I put a support beam directly where I want to do that, so we don't need a support beam there. Do I have everything I need to do a chimney? Because we can do slab there, campfire on top. I have maybe these? How would this look? Oh, I still need to be up there. There we go. I am going to need some walls, because I can already tell it's too like angular and blocky. I'd prefer to put walls in between there, and it looks a little bit bonkers right now, but we are going to have a roof, so it'll look a little bit different. But before that, let's get some walls. Okay, so something like this with cobblestone leading up. There we go. I might want to replace these with stairs, just so it tapers down a little bit better. So break that one, do this. Okay, that's a bit better. And yeah, I see you over there. Guy creeping around. And I also don't think we need to go nuts with the roof, because it already looks decent if you're approaching. Like, for example, if you're just walking up on it, that already looks not too bad. So I don't really want to do the big old sloped roof on this. I'm thinking more flat. So let's see how it looks if we just follow around with a little bit of the slabs. Jeez, this guy's jumped. See him up there? He just jumped right up. He's like, look at me. I am the captain now. I wish he'd go away. I could hear him teleporting as I'm trying to work. It's very disorienting. Okay, then let's just bring it up one more right here. It's not really gonna happily connect with the chimney coming out, but I don't really think it needs to. There we go. So not flat. It does raise up a bit. And we'll leave some torches just in case. Speaking of torches, we should probably drop one on each side over here too. So now we just need lava and some job blocks to put in here, like anvils and different kinds of tools and the like. But overall, not too shabby. Well, kind of shabby, but that's the look I was going for, was shabby. Intentional shabbiness. I actually might have depleted all of the lava over here. Yeah, I think I did. Well, I mean, I guess we could just go into the nether and grab some. Which side has that iron farm over here? Because I want to make a few anvils at least. There you are. Can I reach you? Ah, yeah. Hey, it's full. Nice. Nice surprise. Let's say we want 2 anvils. There we go. We should get some grindstones, couple of those. Maybe a blast furnace or 2. Oh, I've actually got one, so I guess we only need to make 1. There we are. Okay, so we've got some stuff here. I've got 3 buckets. Let's go quickly grab some lava. Oh, wait, speaking of that, I don't have a way out of my gate. Get a couple of these. I should be able to throw something together really quick. Want it to be secure, but also I wouldn't mind a way out. Sneaky little... What? Trees. Oh, is it trying to chop this? We have to be really careful about that. I didn't think there was any leaves touching it. I do not want to, like, one hit destroy the entire thing. That would be awful. Okay, sneaky secret pathway out. We want gates. Hopefully that's secure. I don't think any... I mean, barbarians don't know how to use gates, right? They is not smart. Okay, real quick. In and out. Grab some lava. And there's some here, but whoa, I don't know that I want to go all the way up there. Is there any easy lava? There is all the way over there, but I was hoping it would be closer. Why must you subject me to the nether? I don't even think I can reach that. I thought this would be easier. Don't give me that, citizen. I can complain as much as I want to. This is potentially dangerous, but I think I can see a path all the way down there. There we go. Nearly. Almost. Kinda. A little bit more. Okay, that should be good. Thank you. That should not have been that difficult. Now we make good our escape. How do I make good my escape? Aha. Excuse me. Excuse me. Get out of my way. Just want aesthetic lava. Okay, we're good. Actually, if I had, like, infinite patience, you know, it would probably be a really good idea. We could dig a moat all the way along the wall and fill it with lava. That would be like the ultimate defense. But unfortunately for all of us, I don't have patience. Okay, so let's wrap up this build, and then we need to get archers in the new archery towers, but we also need to, I'm gonna say spend all of the plebs. That sounds a bit weird, but all the jobless villagers we've had in the incubators, we need to get them turned into legionaries. Yeah, I only got 3, so I think instead let's put you there. How would it look if I had a bit of netherrack there? Just another little bit of color. Then we put you here. There we go. Where some of the heat comes from. Then we'll get a furnace. Yeah, we'll just do 1 each side like that. Anvil in the corner. Grindstone there. Couple more things to add. Bit more depth. That, I think I'm happy with. Yep, let's do it to the other side. Boop, boop, boo. 1, 2 triados. Bonk. There we go. I am calling that complete. And I didn't actually look. How does that fit in with the area around it? Yeah, I think that works. And it's looking nice and busy around here. Quite the transformation, though I do say so myself. Okay. We are quickly approaching day, well, I guess 85, but 90 is just around the corner. Means 100 isn't far off, so we need to bulk up our army. Which means lots of plebs, lots of armor, lots of weapons, and I don't remember where I left myself, so let's grab a handful of new recruits, which is a bit of an odd sentence. Oh my goodness, yeah, we've got an army in the works here. Okay, let's get them moved to the training ground. Oh my goodness, that scared me. Wow, what are you doing, B? Oh, that's terrifying. I don't know what I thought it was, but my life flashed before my eyes there. Ugh, bees. Okay, so let's see, we've got a few frontline troops. What do we got here? 1, what's that, Felix? 1 ranged unit, and I think that's it. So I need more ranged units for now. So let's just get everybody put down in here. This is when, you know, the massive recruiting takes place. We all knew it was going to happen. Tiberius, Marcellus, another Publius. Wonderful to have you. Titus, Octavius, Paulus. Oh yeah, we will be ready. Welcome to the Legion. Now, how many can we actually get outfitted? We can do 3 ranged units maybe? But we won't have enough to fully outfit, so we could do 2 now. Alright, who's first? Tiberius. Welcome to the Legion. We're happy to have you. Ah, we can get a ranged Publius too. Now we've got 1 of each. Boom, 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 boom. Where did I not get another one of these? There we go. And in fact, you could both be the ones that I put on the new archery platform, so we'll probably have to sleep, but once we do, I'm going to bring one of each over there and set them on patrol. Ah, Julius. Good to have you. Okay, getting crowded a little bit here. Where are the new recruits? Hello. Tiberius, you are coming with me. Your job is to protect our northwestern flank. And I won't lie, it's a lonely job. You're going to be out here on your own. Although I did see somebody kind of hovering around over here, but I don't know where they got off to. Doesn't matter. We'll send you warm food once a month. Okay, you stand here. We're going to set you on patrol, so hopefully you're not going to go anywhere, Tiberius, right? I don't know that you can. Like, are you smart enough to know how to go down a ladder? But if not, he should be able to keep an eye on this hill for us and anybody trying to round this corner. And they'll get slowed in the water, and it should just be quite literally like shooting fish in a barrel. Well, no, not literally. They shouldn't be fish, Tiberius. Barbarians is not fish. Alright, let's go grab, I guess we'll say Publius the Younger, to protect the northeastern flank, wherever you may be. There you are, Publius. You are going this way. I don't think I've looked. I bet this looks adorable. The mighty general carrying his legionary, because his tootsies hurt from the march. Nobody can say I don't take care of my legionaries. Alright, you are up here, and we want you on patrol. And once more, you're going to be protecting this area. It actually might not be a bad idea, since I can do that patrol rather than a wall. What if I just made, I don't know, flatten out an area here and just line a bunch of soldiers and legionaries along that line and have them patrol? Then they should stay in the area. They act as like an army wall, what's it called, a shield wall, rather than one of these. A regular wall, Publius. That might not be a bad idea. Even if I don't flatten anything out, I might just cover up a bit of this water, because they'll get themselves into trouble with that, I'm sure. This should do nicely. In fact, this could be Publius the Elder's command, because you remember he has the enchanted stuff that makes him a bit better than normal legionaries. So we could set him here, give him maybe 4 or 5 comrades, and he could protect this area from being breached. Okay, who have we got here? Julius. Do you want to be the first one to come take a look? And also test, to make sure if I set you on patrol over here, you're not going to go too far. What? There's a skeleton over there. Like it isn't broad daylight. Unbelievable. Alright, so Julius, if I put you here and say patrol, are you going to hang around here and not go too far? Because I think I'm okay leaving you and then just checking if we come back. You're going kind of far, buddy. Ooh. Why are you going this far, Julius? You're supposed to be on patrol. Which I know means some movement, but it's a bit more than I had in mind. Oh my goodness! Ah! No! I forgot about this! I'm so stupid! Ah! Where's my water? No! Oh boy. Yeah. See, I know what the issue is here, citizen. Oh no. See, recently, I've been playing without fire tick on, which is why I, kind of forgot that was an issue. I hear more burning. There you are. So yeah, I need to go edit the game file really quick and turn fire tick off so that doesn't happen again. Oh man, I haven't felt that dumb since, I don't think we've done that since the hardcore world, like, I don't even know, like 500, 600 days? It's been a long time. Oh boy, look at this. Alright, give me a moment. I'm gonna turn fire tick off. This is why I like playing without that, because I like the ability to use lava, but not burn my places to the ground, which luckily I noticed it or heard it as it was happening. Okay, we'll be back in a minute. Alright, that should be taken care of now. I turned off fire tick, which means it shouldn't spread, right? I've also been keeping an eye on Julius, and he does walk a good amount, because I set him to patrol right here, and he's been walking back there, over there, inside the forge, he's been over on that side, but he stays in this general area, so I think if we get enough of them and tell them to patrol once they're right about here, I'll feel better about this gap in the wall. And I could complete the wall, it's just it doesn't really match up happily. I'd have to build like a dock to hold it. I could do all that, but I've already spent so much time on it, and we're running low on time, and I have other things to work on, so we are trusting our legionaries. So let's keep grabbing them. Ah, Publius, you will be in charge over here. So if we're breached from the north, we have our scapegoat, right, Publius? Okay, so we'll get you up here, get you to patrol, keep an eye on Julius, and I will get you some more legionaries. Aurelius, you're coming with me as well. We should spread them out, because I did the first 2 on top of that. We should put one now, yeah, probably over here. This is your area to patrol, Aurelius. Who's next? Oh, Aurelius II. Okay, that's not confusing at all. And you can have this side closer to the archery tower. There we go. I think there's a few left. I'll bring them all over there. We'll see how we feel, and, you know, if it's a strong enough front there, might be okay, but we also have many unemployed plebs to outfit and train, so still got that ahead of us. Agrippina, feeling a bit light over here, so why don't you take this spot? It would be nice if you could expand this. I looked a little bit, but I didn't see any mods like this. I think it would be cool if there were more classes that you could do, for example, because obviously you can only do sword or crossbow, frontline troop, and ranged. But wouldn't it be cool if you could do like a cleric in the sense like it could heal your troops, or a magic user, things like that? That would be pretty cool. And you are a ranged unit, so you can be up here a little bit higher. Felix, and that might be it. Let's have a look. Yes, that is it. Which means we can make 2 more at least that are the melee fighters. Then we have to go back to gathering as many materials as we can, meaning armor and such. All right, Paulus, there we go. And Octavia, to the front. Actually, hold on. How many do we want over here before we start, like, you know, putting them at other parts of the wall? Because just because there's a wall there doesn't mean we don't have to defend the area. Because, I mean, we've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over here. And they're doing a pretty good job of patrolling, just kind of hanging around here. So that might be somewhat defended, because we still do want some people in here defending this, the central command post, and maybe a couple back here by the gate. Yeah, we'll make those decisions in a moment. I'm going to just get as many outfitted as we can in the training grounds, then we could just put them all over the place. Strategically, obviously. Yeah, because this has still been working. We've got plenty. In fact, we've got so many, I wonder if I should just leave some more out here walking around, add some more life to the place. I don't know about that, though. It is an army camp, so I don't see a reason why we would need many non-legionaries. Okay, I am going to get a bunch more armor and weapons and things like that. Lars. I didn't know that was a Roman name. Fabius. But yeah, after I've got all that, we're going to start outfitting them. We'll put them out on patrol where they're needed, and then we'll feel a lot safer. Also, don't let me forget, we need to pick new commanders. I have 3 more bits of enchanted gear here. Speaking of the enchanted stuff, we should probably find someone. Drusus, Tiberius, Publius, another Publius. Valeria. You look like you know what you're doing, Valeria. So you can have the enchanted gladius. We'll give you the enchanted chestplate, all the good gear. And you are going to be the commander for the command center when I'm not around, obviously. So let's just get you here and have you patrol the central area and hope that you don't step onto campfires. In fact, I wonder if I should put you upstairs. Nah, you just be careful. No stepping on campfires. I don't think they will, but you never know with them. We are making progress. Many of the legionaries are outfitted, but we still got quite a bit. I think 9 that still need to be outfitted. I might leave them in here for a bit while I get everybody else stationed somewhere. In fact, I want to do one more enchanted setup. Octavius, we will give you the enchanted gear, and then you come with me. Just in case, we'll put you around the back here by where I created that little gate. I think it's safe, but you never know. So you will patrol and keep us safe back here, and I'll give him a couple underlings to watch his back as well. Octavia. Hey, that's a perfect choice. Now we've got Octavius and Octavia patrolling back here, and we'll do one more. Paulus, you will also be back here, and then I also noticed we've got some auxiliaries that like to hang out over here too, so that should hopefully be safe. They're watching the gate for us. Looking good, soldiers. And then actually, I might, because I've noticed they don't really go anywhere. By which I mean they don't leave the fort area, even the auxiliaries that I have basically no control over. So a few of these guys I might just release into the wild, as it were, so they could just walk around the entire fort rather than patrol a little tiny specific area. So let's do that. I'm going to give a few of you just free reign. So Titus, if I put you out here and I say nothing about patrolling, you're kind of just going to be on your own, looking around the fort, making sure everything's safe. Tiberius, same thing goes, well, no, actually we'll do Appius, get some of the sword ones instead. There you go. Should probably leave 1 or 2 in here. just so they can protect the training grounds and any unemployed plebs we have in there for now, but also we should put one over by the barn, protect the animals. You, I do want to patrol. Stay right around here, please. I don't know why I'm saying please, he's under my command. I'll also put one over here to patrol the tower. There we go. Things are looking pretty good around here. Got the back guarded there, and I noticed they just stand still, so I don't know what the difference is between just standing still like that. Same thing goes here. Valeria, she's just standing there. These ones, however, they're very busy, walking around all over the place. I don't know why that is, but I don't hate it. This is fine, just kind of walking around over here. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling much safer, much more organized. So I might just take the next couple days and get the rest of these outfitted. That way, if we do need to deploy any troops to a particular region or area of the fort, we'll have plenty of backups. So I'll take care of that, and I shall let you know when I've finished. The time has arrived, citizens. We received word from our scouts. The barbarians are on the move, which means we just have a little bit of time left to do preparation before we have to defend our fort. We have our reserves here at the training ground, so there's plenty of legionaries if we need additional help or if the southern wall is breached. You will notice that I did put an archery tower here at the southern wall, and we tasked Tiberius and Camilla with watching our gate. I also used the opportunity to bone meal some of the areas around here because it was looking a little bit flat to me and I wanted to do that improvement, plus adding these little walls just here and there around the pathways. As far as what's left before we are attacked, I thought it would be a good idea to improve our fast travel points so we can get to strategic locations if needed, if we need to move around the battlefield. And if we look at the map of our fort, I'm thinking we want to be able to quickly move to the southern gate, the northern ridge here, of course the command center, and potentially the east and west. Those I'm not so sure about. This side we're fairly well protected with the water, archery tower down here, and I think we can divert forces to come around here and engage our troops at the north. My largest concerns are the south gate and the northern ridge. So we have our convenience travel points here. I think over on this side, we'll do more like battle travel. So we'll have 2 south gate and 2 the northern ridge. Let's begin with the south gate. The question is, do we want to be up there when we teleport in or right at the gate? Also, do we have enough path developed? No, I'm going to have to put some back here. I would say probably better to spawn in the tower if we're fast traveling over here. That way we can quickly assess the situation. Will it let me do that though? That's the question. Does this count as, yeah, charting. Okay, good. So let's put this here to Principia and then do that. There we go, path charted. So now if I need to get back to the command post or the Principia, we do that. And if I need to quickly get to the south gate, we do this. And we're good. We can assess. Next up, the northern ridge. And for this one, I think just putting a sign on here ought to do. There we go. So now we can teleport back to the Principia, and then if we need to quickly get to the north, we do this, and we're back. Okay, good. And with the other points that we have, because we already have fast travel to the tower, we have the mines over here, so that's a quick way over there. I think we still have fast travel to the temporary house. We can get around pretty quickly if we need to make snap decisions, or reinforce our legionaries. Also, if you ever use Zero's map or mini-map, if you hold tab, you can see the icons of what's going on too, so we can see some of our defenses. So archery tower here and here. I did notice one of our guys got stuck in a boat over here, but that's fine. It's a crossbow legionary, so they're all right. We have this ridge protected. We're looking a little light right here. I might add one over on this side, and maybe 1 or 2 at the mine and at this campsite. Yeah, so let's add the reinforcements where we need it. Flavia, you can come with me to, where would this be? The northeast. We need some urgency, Flavia. The barbarians are on their way. So you guard the temp house area over here and back up for that archery tower. There we go. Now there's 2 there. Now we'll do the mine area. Marcellus, just the man. There we go. Don't fall into the quarry, please. And who are you? Claudia. You guard this campsite over here. Wait a minute. Where? Oh, how did you get up there? Climbed up the archery tower and just walked over, no doubt. Well, yeah, sure. Man the walls. They're auxiliaries. Let's be honest, Claudia, they're not quite as valuable as full legionaries. Basically mercenaries. You don't know if you can trust them. I don't know about you, but I think we're looking good. I also thought ahead and started making more of the beef stew. Actually, that was really good timing. The last one just finished. So we'll keep some backup beef stew on us. Is there anything we're missing? Because I will blame you if you make me forget anything. This is a war council. As a valued citizen, you have to let me know. Have we missed anything? Oh, good. Okay, sounds like we're ready. Well, if that's the case, I'm headed for the south gate. We're going to take our post up here, because we don't know what direction they're going to be approaching from, and we must be vigilant. It's the alarm! Everybody, to arms! This is the moment you've trained for, legionaries. Defend your fort with your lives. I hear the alarm. Where do they approach from? I didn't even see any. I think we've defended against one wave and I didn't have to do anything. Was it the other side? Someone call if you see barbarians. I just left the north gate, or the the south gate, and now they're there. I'm not even using the fast travel points. Good, 2 arms. Oh, look at that. Oh, they're doing a fantastic job. I thought I'd have to carry them. This is fantastic. Wonderful job, legionaries. Don't open the gate. Hold them here. Aha! The Imperator arrives. Oh, this is so satisfying. Show them no quarter. We've thinned them out. I'm going to confront them. Watch my back, legionaries. How dare you attack my fort? You attack Imperator Legion V, and this cannot go unpunished. Quickly, back behind the walls. We're not through this yet, legionaries. Take a momentary rest. Oh, this isn't good. They have war beasts. Bring it down before it breaches the wall. Yes, that's that one down. He's doing some good work over there. You know what? I'm opening this gate so anybody in the training grounds can get out. In fact, let's open this here. Anybody that wants to come fight, training is over. Who wants to join me outside the gate? Oh, they're taking him on over there. Oh, that was a bad move. He came inside. Oh, you are so done for. One remaining over there. Whoops. I did not mean to hit the sheep. Oh, they're taking him. There we go. Return to your posts. The next wave is coming. I may ask for volunteers to follow me out here. Oh no, a new front. They're taking the tower. No. Take them, legionaries. We're doing good work. But no, one of my legionaries fell. Fantastic work. Oh, that's always a sad day. Who's being damaged? Good. Quickly offload some of the things I picked up. All right, next phase. They are at the wall. How did they must have magic users. They've breached the wall. Defend your home. I'll take the beast. Yeah, flank him. I'll take his distraction. Get him. Take him, legionaries. Thank you. They're watching out for their commander. What's happening here? Oh no, Vex. No, not Vex. Where? We need to find out who's spawning Vex. There you are. Take him. Yes. Protect me from the Vex. That's your job, legionaries. I do not want to deal with those. Good job. They took one. Wow, this is fantastic. Look at all of them. I need to always have a legion like this at my back. Oh, you are so done. One remaining. Where is it? Over here. Oh, there you are. I see you. Can I hit you from there? No. Can I swim under here? Yeah, I left this open so I could do sneak attacks. Oh, didn't even see it coming. Oh, back behind the wall. Quickly. Ooh, gold. Oh, they just spawned right in front of me. Their magic users are bringing them directly inside. No, the legionaries are falling. Rally to me. This armor is fantastic. Oh no, we are losing so many legionaries. That's right, ring the bell. They're off to the east. Whoa, at least they're outside the walls this time. Jeez. All right, let them come. Marcus, guard this area. I'm heading up to the archery tower. Better watch my back. Hopefully we can take out a few from here. Looks like we got ourselves a choke point here. The defenses are holding. We did lose somebody up here, though, I see. Night is falling, and that's not a good thing. We did it! We held them back! Right as night falls. Well done, legionaries. And for once, I'm not being sarcastic. Actually, here we go. We got a auxiliary unit here. And look at that, now we can get into the auxiliary and do a follow. Can I do that with more than one? Can I get a group to follow me? Oh man, how many did we lose in that raid? I don't know. But I've been picking up legionary helmets and things like that all around. Sad reality of defending the fort. Let's check if anything got dropped over here. Oh, my guys are watching my back. Nice. What do we have over here? Ooh, we are taking all of their gold. All right, let's sleep so we can take another look around and assess the damage. Hey, there's another one. Nice, just laying there. Unsurprisingly, they have bestowed the title Hero of the Village to me, even though this is not a village. It's a Roman fort, but I appreciate the sentiment. All right, who else wants to follow me? Oh yeah, everybody does. Can I get just like an enormous group of legionaries following me? Let's see how this looks. Oh yeah, look at this is my Praetorian Guard. Oh, beautiful. That gives me an idea. Let's collect a bit more. If we can quickly find out where they came from, we could destroy their base. They came and tried to attack ours. Now it's time to take the fight to them. All right, how many have we got now? And they teleport too. That's fantastic. This is our group right here. Impressive band if I ever saw one. Oh, hey, Publius. All right, let's drop off the spoils, which there is quite a bit. And unfortunately, like I said, we can tell we lost a few there. 4 totems. If we get some item frames, we can proudly display that we captured their golden standards. There we go. On display for all. The barbarian gold is ours. Alright, we've got our group. In the morning, we take the fight to the enemy. Mars Exulte! This is so cool. Look at them following me. The scouts have recorded that the barbarian camp is about 1,200 blocks away. And by scouts, yes, I mean a seed map. Time to bring the fight to them and pay them back in kind for what they did to the Roman fort. Our fallen brothers and sisters will be avenged, even though we held our own very well. They defended their points, they piled on when needed, and I'm proud to be their commander. Now, can we get them to follow us all the way to the camp? Not certain. Also, I'm really wishing I brought that saddle with me. I would have brought a horse. Maybe later. For now, we need revenge. Ow. Whoa. Okay, everybody be very careful where you step. That looks really cool, though. It's like a little sunken grotto. Or glade. No, not the plug-in. Hashtag not sponsored. Is there no end to this forest? I get to sleep. You stay up all night. Oh, there you go. That was quick. Gonna tell them they had to stay up. Protect me while I slept. It's a long trek, but they're doing well so far. Look at them following their commander. They love it. Ooh, is that an evil portend? Just started to rain. An ambush! Oh, that didn't last long. Zombie ambush turned into dead zombie. Well, you know, dead again. Baby goober! Somebody take it. Oh, this is a thunderstorm. That's why that's happening. Okay, that is an evil portend. Now, we just slept. I don't really want to... Should I sleep it off? Is it too dangerous? Are we going to get struck by lightning? Take them. Protect your Imperator. Very good. That's a creeper. I don't know how my boys will handle creepers. Let's just run and not, figure that out. There's another one down. What luck. The second we leave our fort is when a thunderstorm happens. Attack! I'm not even going to draw my sword. You're done for, buddy. Goodbye. Take him. I hope that scout was right. Ah, I see it. We are going to sleep in the outskirts. I think the thunderstorm... What was that noise? It hurts us more than it hurts them. So protect me, because there are actually mobs around here. I'm going to sleep. They're protecting me. They're attacking somebody while I sleep. Nice. Ooh, trident. That could be trouble. Where's the trident? It's a baby goober trident. Get it. No. Oh no, we lost one. To the evil hordes. Oh, this is never easy. We have to take one of our own. Oh no, that's the enchanted gear. Oh, that is sad. Yeah, that was one of our captains. Oh, we got a trident. Wow. Wait, where's the sword? Should have dropped a sword. I am getting so sidetracked right now. Okay, look. Somebody's getting an upgrade. That was sad, but Marcellus, you take the chest plate, that gear. Oh, fire protection optio leggings. How did I get those? Doesn't matter. Gladius. Yeah, I don't know what happened to the better sword, but not important. You got an upgrade. We get to attack. Alright, we still have an impressive crew. We're already being attacked. Mars Exulte! Move in! Time for you to pay for your crimes. Yeah, that's right. Your advance party that you sent to our base is gone, is no more. And now you pay the price. Rome never forgives, and it never forgets. Pretty ominous, huh? And we will steal your booty. No, not that kind of booty. Goat horn. Victory! Ba-da-boo! I gotta say, I thought that would be more difficult. Kinda seems like we already took them. Well, there's only one thing left to do. And that's right, I did turn fire tick back on. What happens if I leave that here? Alright, retreat. We're getting out of here. Everybody come with me, quick. I see more out here in the woods anyway. We'll take them. Yep, get them. Quickly. I don't want to be shot. Yeah, let's work on the speed next time. Good job. Oh no! What's happening to your camp, barbarians? How unfortunate. It says there's an iron golem over here. Oh, hey buddy. You want to be free? Get revenge on those that imprisoned you? Yeah, there you go. Welcome to the crew, big guy. Let's get a better vantage up here, see how we're doing. Oh no. How unfortunate. It's a sad day. Oh, and and would you stop falling off the mountain? You're all hurting yourselves. Do well with their fighting, and then they just, you know, constantly fall off of trees and mountains. Not the most coordinated bunch. Ah, this is one of my favorite things to watch. A burning enemy camp. So I say we enjoy this for a while, then we head back to our fort, and we ensure this wasn't a clever ruse for them to do a counterattack or something. Oh, coming to try to attack us again, huh? I mean, we are burning your place down, so I guess fair enough there, but a little bit too late. I think we have control of the situation. Oh, you are done for, buddy. Yep, there he goes. This is the way it should be. I just stand on a high vantage point, watch my minions do their work. I don't have to even get my fingernails dirty. And we get a light show. Every once in a while I can do that, the fish in the barrel thing. Alright, this is taking a while. Let's just add 1 or 2 more down here just for good measure. Nobody stand too close. I think we're probably going to start catching trees soon. Yeah, we definitely are. So before too long, this is going to become dangerous for everybody, not just the barbarians. So yeah, everybody just take a couple steps back, watch from a distance. Safety is cool, kids. Ah, yeah. I can't think of a much more beautiful sight than that. This is like a Rome motivational poster right here. Look at that. Full Imperator in his glory, legionaries slaughtering the barbarians in the background, and their burning base silhouetting me. Yep, that's the poster right there. Join the Legion. Hey, oh yeah, they were all in the fire. Let's stay back. In fact, I'd say our job is done here. We made our point. I don't think they'll bug us again anytime soon. And we still have the run back, so take one last look. Enjoy your accomplishment, Legionaries. Well done, all of you. Let's go home. Okay, one more for old time's sake. Goodbye. Now let's go home. What? Look. Whoa, jeez. Okay, I kind of forgot that happens. See if you can take the horses alive. Oh, that was no problem. Aw, whoops, I spoke too soon. Okay, well, this wasn't part of the plan. I don't have any way to get you guys back home. Yeah, I don't have leads. I don't have, saddles. Well, we waypointed it. If we ever come back to this world, we've got some skeleton horses here. I don't know that that's, like, ever happened to me naturally. I'm sure it has. I usually sleep off thunderstorms, though. That was really cool. Because we didn't even see it on the way here. It must have happened. And then we slept off the thunderstorm, and then it just hung around? I didn't know they could do that. Very fortuitous. We'll take it as a good omen, even though it seems like a bad omen. Okay, we're not going that way. We're finally nearing familiar territory, which I hope means when we get up on that rise, we'll be able to see our fort. There you are. It's always good to return to safe walls from a successful campaign. Especially when we're conquering heroes, right, Legionaries? We're back, safe and sound, and looks like there was no attack. Everybody's still guarding their posts, and this is an incredibly successful Roman fort. Think of the difference, too, between now and when we started the village we found here. Madness. I can't believe all the stuff we found, too. We got a trident, where when I'm actually trying to find a trident, I can never get one. We found skeletron horses, we got a goat horn. I'm gonna get some more item frames so we can hang up some of these trophies. Say over here, we're gonna put our goat horn. On this side, we can do the trident. We stole the enemy standards, so we can put these up over here. And yes, that brings them much shame, I can tell you. And also, I kind of forgot to take a look around. I don't think they breached our walls, and I think Ravagers have the ability to do that, but I'm pretty sure that our walls remained strong the entire time we were getting attacked. The only reason we were breached is from their use of foul magics. They were able to teleport themselves inside the walls, but aside from that, we held our own, we defended, and we were victorious. Hey, get up, get off the fire! Don't stand on it. If it hurts, you get off of it, Marcus. Unbelievable. You would think they aren't well-trained soldiers. Anyway, I was about to say, it's unfortunately that time again, Sextus. Time to wrap up as the day wanes on our 100th day. I am so pleased with how everything turned out, with how the Legionaries performed, with how we were able to defend the base, the level of automation we have with the villager things, the storage system we set up, the ability to train the Legionaries. I had a great time with this one. And I'll remind you, I'm always looking out for your comments. I will usually take a lot of the ideas that I see in the comments and kind of meld them together into something that's either a little bit more my style or something that just challenges me a little bit more. So let me know what you think about this one in particular. I tried to make almost like my own mod pack a little bit. Seemed to work out all right. And I'm curious if you'd like this sort of thing, or, you know, if you want to go back to some more vanilla type things. Either way, Tiberius and I had a great time. Sextus, Drusus, Publius, everybody had a fantastic time. I hope you enjoyed it too. And with that, I will leave you with, as always, thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one, citizen.